All right, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the crazy holiday village. I shared the rules doc there. If you guys want to take a look at it. Okay. Yeah, and I'll just kind of start from the top. Does everyone see the rules document? Okay. Okay, basically it's going to be kind of a standard werewolf game with two teams, the tourist team, which is the villagers, and the holiday wolf team. And they win when they reach parity with the village. Tourists win when all werewolves are eliminated. The tourists are just basic villagers. There could be a hunter who, once they're killed, can immediately kill another player. None of these rules are 100% in the game, but most of them will be in the game since we have a big group. So most of these rules will be there. There's a chance that some rules may not be in the game. But there could be a bodyguard who can protect someone at night from wolf kills. They cannot protect the same person back-to-back nights. There's a confused seer. I will hold up a symbol or something. I will not give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. There will be a symbol for the wolf team and a symbol, this is not the symbols, and a symbol for the tourist team. And you will get those. And there could possibly be a third symbol. And I didn't put this on the rules doc, but I'll explain it a little bit later. The orphan gets to act first and they get to go hide with somebody. If they hide with a werewolf, they die immediately, except the baby New Year wolf, they will not die. If they hide with a villager and they are targeted by the wolves, they and the villager they hid with will die unless they are protected. But if the orphan is attacked at night and they are hiding with someone else, they do not die because they are not home. The Karen, I'm going to give 12 questions in chat to the Karen person. I was going to hold them up on a board for the viewers, but I ran out of time to write them on a board. So they're just going to be in chat to the person, and they're numbered 1 through 12. So when I wake Karen up at night, they have to hold up a number 1 through 12, or give me 1 through 12, and I will give you the answer. I will either show it to you, or if it's too long, I will type it to you. But you have to just give me the number and I will give you the answer to your question. And every night you get to ask a different question. I mean, you cannot ask the same questions more than once. And you'll see the questions. I'm not really going to go into detail about what those questions could be. They're good for the village team. And, you are free to say as much as you want or as little as you want about your role and the questions and everything like that. And then there's the party pooper. So the party pooper every day gets to cancel a holiday. So every single day, I will randomly pick a number, and one of you guys will pick a number between 1 and 12, and it will be a holiday. We can scroll to the bottom. I'll explain the holiday part a little bit. And each holiday has a special effect, which you guys aren't going to know about going into it. I will say the name of the holiday, and the party pooper has 10 seconds. I'll have everyone on mute. They have to publicly say, I'm canceling this holiday, and it will just be a standard werewolf day. But the effects of the holiday are unknown right now. Some I'll explain as soon as the holiday starts. I'll say, it's Arbor Day, and everyone does, there's 5 nominations today. That's not one of them, but for example, but there's usually a thematic tie of some sort. So they could affect things like voting, night action, kills, or just something completely random. I said, use your imagination. They all have a thematic tie, but I'm not going to really answer, if I say it's, Valentine's Day, and you can't say, well, what is, if I don't say, like, explain what Valentine's Day is, you can't say, oh, like, what is Valentine's Day? Like, what does it mean? I mean, you can talk to each other about it, but I'm not going to give you any answers. I mean, you can ask me, but I probably will just say I'm not going to say. Okay, so then the wolf team.
Sorry, Jesse, just one question on the
Sure.
holidays. So you pick a number at the beginning of the day. Can you pick the same number like consecutive days? Or is it
No,
just at
once
one
a holiday
holiday?
happens, it can't happen again. So that number will be out of contention.
Okay.
And I'll try to keep you guys when I pick the person, I'll say, pick 1 through 12, except for 5 or 7 or whatever. Okay. The wolf team, we have a Cupid Wolf. So after the wolf, I know this wolf team might be kind of powerful, but we'll see. The wolf team, after the wolves meet night 0, it only wakes up night 0 and picks 2 players who become lovers. If either of those players are killed during the day only, then the other player dies as well. So only if they are voted upon or killed by a hunter or something like that. No night kills. The second one is the Easter Bunny Wolf. Also will only wake up night 0, and they can give a poison Easter egg to someone. It's after the wolves meet, so they can give a poison Easter egg to someone, and that person will die if not cured in a random number of days determined by a dice roll. At least, I will give you at least 2 days. It won't be the first day, so it's going to be like a 2 through 6. That works, Joe. Krampus Wolf, I will wake them up every night, but they only get 2 chances to look for the orphan. If when they correctly identify the orphan will die regardless of where they're hiding or any body guard protects or anything like that. The baby New Year Wolf will not die the orphan will not die if they hide with them. The Pumpkin Wolf, which is like a Halloween, the Pumpkin King, it can scare someone each night. If they have a night roll, they won't be able to perform it. It cannot scare the same person back-to-back nights. The Father Time Wolf, once per game after a second nomination, can end the day immediately by messaging me. And you only can do it once per game. Then you have to send me a message. You can send me during like voting, like when a nomination has been seconded, you can say after this, I want to end the day. But like if you wait and then someone makes a third nomination, too bad. Like you got to do it early. And then the most complicated one is Santa Wolf, who wakes up separate from the wolves. He will wake up after the wolves. And each night they have the option to put someone on their naughty and nice list. And if they put someone on their one list, they have to put someone on the other list. If someone's on the nice list, they will not die if they are nominated and voted on, regardless of the outcome of the votes. A naughty person will die regardless of the outcome of the votes. And this Santa Claus cannot nominate these people. They cannot put someone on either list and then nominate them. And they wake up separate from the wolves. The wolves do not know the identity of the Santa Wolf and vice versa. And they would only wake up and start killing if they are the last wolf alive. If chosen by the wolves, they will not die the first time, but if they are chosen a second time, they will die. Yeah, and like I said, you have to be on the nice and naughty list. And also, they can die from being poisoned by the Easter Bunny or the Cupid. They could die from that. But they can't die just from they wouldn't die the first time from a regular wolf targeting them, but they could die from those other ways. And then there's a couple, I just threw in some plain werewolves. If you get Leprechaun Wolf, Tom the Turkey Wolf, Jack Frost Wolf, Old Man Winter Wolf, those are just regular werewolves with no special powers. Questions?
Regarding the party pooper, you said it has to be done publicly?
Yeah,
Won't
so
that
I'll
basically say, okay, well, I'm a villager, I'm a tourist, so kill me.
I mean, yes, I would say,
Okay.
just a little advice, like you would want to weigh the options. If you really feel strongly about this day, you might want to do it. You might want to look at the numbers, but yes, you're going to have to come out publicly. Okay. And I will not, if you have to be the party pooper, like if other people try to do that, I'm not going to stop it. And I would appreciate, just don't do it. Like, don't everyone say, I'm the party pooper, I'm the party pooper. That would be annoying. What's up, George?
Does the orphan have to hide with somebody, or is it like an option thing?
They have to hide, right? Usually. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they have to hide.
Okay.
Alex?
One more.
Oh, sure.
Any of these effects, like poisoning or stuff like that, are you told that you are poisoned and you're going to die in a few days, or you don't know?
You wouldn't know. And I skipped.
How does curing work as well?
Oh, I skipped one of. I didn't put one of the roles on my roll sheet because there's a. Yeah, that's a good point. Because there's a quack, which they have 2 cure potions and 1 kill potion. They don't have any save potions. So they're kind of like a witch, but they do have 2 cure potions and 1 save potion. They can use those anytime throughout the game, but again, they only have 2 cure potions, so they pick a player. If that player is cursed or poisoned, they will be cured. And then if they can kill once per game. Alex, sorry, you've been holding your hand.
So Santa Wolf can, if they put somebody on their naughty list, they have to put somebody on the nice list. What if they just only want to put people on the nice list?
They can't.
They always have to balance it.
Right. So it's
Okay.
like, yeah.
And there's cursed as well.
There could be there could be a known number of like or cursed. Yeah.
Sorry if it said this, and they're on the naughty/nice list just for the following day, or
Just for
permanent?
one day. It's not like it changes every day. So it wouldn't be like a cumulative list of people, because that would be insane.
That'd be a bit too powerful. If it was permanent, it would be like,
Yeah. People would just be dying.
We
all
need
over
to kill
the place.
Santa.
Be hilarious.
Um,
by the end of the game, that Santa Wolf couldn't nominate at all. It'd be like, yeah, gets to the final 3, can't nominate at all.
You
I'm
wouldn't
also gonna
nominate on final
say-
3 anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Santa would lose his ability at a final 5 if he made to final 5, because I feel like that could get overpowered at that point.
And,
You guys are helping me.
and,
They
and
can't
sort of-
nominate. Sorry, they can't nominate someone on either list, but they can second the nominations, or
Yes, they could second nominations, but they cannot nominate people on their list. And I'm also gonna say, I'm gonna keep track of, I have a thing to write down who's on the list. You can't put the same person on either list back to back, if that makes sense.
Just a heads up, the numbers are slightly out, and Flick, you
I
need
can
to put
move
a
you
number,
guys.
you know?
That would probably be easier than you guys changing it. And you'll be, Flick, could you give yourself a number? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I think it's 18. I don't think it's
Yeah.
taken yet.
There you go.
and kind of like not all these wolves are guaranteed to be in the game. Is that right?
No, they're not all guaranteed to be in the game.
Okay. Will
That'd be
you
like
kind of
12
like
wolves.
are you kind of like blagging it in terms of you kind of like say like the Easter Bunny wolf isn't in the game? Are you going to pretend they are by saying, "Well, wait"?
Yeah, I'm gonna call. I'll call everybody, even if they're not in the game. It's gonna be a long night 1, but then Cupid and the Easter Bunny don't wake up after night 1, so I'll call them night 1 even if they're not in it.
So they don't wake up with the rest of the wolves. They
They
just
do, yeah,
just
yeah.
night
And
one.
I apologize for this too. When I call the werewolves, I'm gonna call. It's all werewolves except for Santa Wolf. So Santa Wolf never wakes up with the werewolves unless they would be the final wolf, and I would message them and let them know that.
Although-
Your
Sorry,
sheet says that Quack has 2, and then it doesn't say what.
Yeah, I was just typing it right now. Hold on, let me see. Has 2 cure potions.
Is there Kirsten Lycan in the game?
1.
Yeah.
There's the
Yes.
possibility of Kirsten Lycan. 1 kill potion. Game.
Did you say if Santa could put themselves on the nice list?
No, they can't. No, they cannot. Any other?
And they put
questions?
themselves on the naughty list.
No. I mean, that would be stupid, but I'm just gonna say no, you can't put yourself on any list.
Don't call Alex's strategy stupid.
I'm sorry.
That's what
Alex.
Alex is gonna
So-
look-
They're great strategies.
Don't
You
call
know how you
Alex's
said you
suggestion
can't-
strategy.
You know how you said you can't put somebody on the list back to back? Is that just on the respective naughty or nice list, or can you put them on
You
one
could
list
swap
one day
it.
and then
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that might be a little complicated for Santa, but yeah, you're gonna have to keep track of it. But we'll be working together. But yes, you cannot. You could like I could do Joe, Alex on my naughty list, like Joe, Alex, Joe, but just not back to back. And I could go put like Joe, naughty, nice, naughty, nice, like the whole time if I wanted to. Okay. I'm going to start getting rolls ready. I mean, they're already ready, but I'm just going to start assigning real quick. Oops.
Alex, we know which role you're gunning for. Stop squeaking at me.
And I'm going to start mailing out. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to say when I was talking about the confused seer, there's also a possibility that you may be wearing a party hat, which would be the third symbol, which is just, for those who played before, is a tinfoil hat, which is just, you're unable to be read by the seer. There may be party hats in the game. Everybody ready? Okay. If people have questions, they can message me separately if they don't want to ask in the chat, or feel free to, if it's a basic question, just ask in the chat. I mean, ask in the room. Okay, can everybody go to sleep for me, please? A lot of you aren't going to act night one. I'm just going to wake you up and wave.
Don't forget to mute everyone, Jesse.
Oh, thank you. I'm real bad at that, so thank you. No, always feel free to remind me every night. Okay. Can I have my orphan wake up, please? And just say hi. You're not going to act tonight? Okay, thank you. Can I have my bodyguard wake up, please? Hello, thank you very much. Not going to act tonight. Okay, now I'm going to need all the wolves except for the Santa wolf to wake up. All the wolves except for the Santa wolf. There should be, hold on, let me double check. This many? So okay, thank you. Now everyone please go back to sleep. You won't act tonight. Okay, can I have my Santa wolf wake up tonight, please? And you actually can act tonight if you like. If you want to put someone on your naughty list, if you could show me that name. Thank you. And if you want to put someone on your nice list, if you could show me that name. Thank you very much. You can go to sleep. Can I have my quack wake up? Say hello. If you wanted to act tonight, you could. If you wanted to use any of your potions, if you want to use your cure potion, please let me know. I would not let you use your kill potion tonight. Can I have Karen wake up? Can I have Karen wake up, please? Okay, I will let Karen ask me a question tonight. Which question would you like to know? Okay. Please go to sleep. Oh, I kind of screwed up. Can I have my confused seer wake up? You can check someone tonight. Who would you like to check? And I will give you a symbol. 1 second. Let me just make sure. Thank you. Please go back to sleep. And I actually forgot about 2 of my wolves. Can I have my Easter Bunny wolf wake up? Who would you like to poison? If you would like. Okay. Thank you. And can I have my Cupid Wolf wake up, please? Who are the who would you like to make lovers? The 2 names, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone go back to sleep, please. Everyone can wake up. And I am going to pick one of you to pick a number between 1 and 12. And the lucky person is Alex. Alex, what number would you like between 1 and 12? Please unmute.
10, baby.
10. Okay, let me see what 10 is. 10 is Devil's Night.
Oh no.
I'm going to give the party pooper a few moments. And okay, the day is yours.
Doesn't sound like a great holiday.
So
And
I'm
that
the Santa
background, I love
Wolf.
it.
I'm the Santa Wolf. Eddie's on my naughty list. If one of the wolves wants to nominate him, I'll second it, and we guarantee a kill every day.
Is that Fantasia?
Say that again, Adam.
I said I'm the Santa Wolf. I put Eddie on the naughty list. If a wolf nominates him, I'll second it. We can guarantee a kill every day that's a villager.
Wait, hi.
I nominate Adam.
Like that makes no sense because the village would just kill.
All right.
I
Adam
know. I
has
was
been
trying to get a
nominated
wolf to
and
out themselves.
seconded.
It was a joke.
I'm going to mute everybody. Graham, would you like to give your
Can see if Adam wants to be taken seriously as the Santa Wolf or not. But it wouldn't be a terrible play if he can get that off before somebody else, because it would end the day, presumably, right? So if he could do that a couple days in a row, then the village would never get a chance to act, and they just kill people at night and during the day. So it seems like a good play for the Santa Wolf.
Adam, would you like to give your defense?
It would be a good play. That's why I thought of it as soon as I read that role was in the game. Too bad I'm not really the Santa Wolf. But, you know, I thought maybe a wolf would fall for it because it is a good idea. They didn't, so wasted effort.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody, and I actually am going to pull a Simon. The Santa Wolf cannot second people they put on the nice or naughty lists based on that thing. That seems like an issue that could just end the game. So I'm going to make an executive decision. The Santa Wolf cannot second on the people on their list. Okay, but we're going to vote on Adam, up to save Adam, down to kill Adam. Voting in.
Do we get questions?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Do I have a question?
Go ahead, and Adam, you can take the questions as you see fit.
Adam, I get what you were trying to do, but you know that the wolves know if you're on a wolf or
No,
not.
they don't. The wolves don't know the Santa Wolf.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Any other questions for Adam? Okay, go ahead, Sherry.
Adam, why do you think Cody seconded that one?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to who did.
Did we lose someone or?
Yeah.
Someone missing.
Graham?
I guess I was asking Adam, but Adam, do you think we should nominate Eddie just to see if what you said was true?
I think if Eddie's a wolf, yes, because Eddie's a really good player. If Eddie's on the tourist team, then no, because I want him on my team the entire time, because Eddie is a really good player.
Okay.
So
We're
it's
voting.
up for keeping him and down for
Alex, yeah, I'll go over it in a second.
Yeah,
The
please.
voting. So we're gonna vote on Adam, vote up to save Adam, vote down to kill Adam. We need majority to kill. So you need, if it's a tie, Adam will survive. So up to save Adam, down to kill Adam. We're gonna vote in, and no abstaining, please. Vote in 3, 2, 1, vote. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 up, 1 down. The day continues.
Yeah, so why did Christopher vote down?
I just don't know if I trust Adam or not. I get what he was doing or what he says he was doing, but he could have freaked out when the wolves didn't agree to go with his route, just kill all the villagers every day, and then came up with the excuse that he was trying to get a wolf to out themselves. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if that was a signal, like, you know, hey, I'm the Centaur Wolf, only joking, but no, not really, I am.
I nominate Eddie.
Why?
I want to see if he is telling truth.
Eddie is nominated. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Braden seconds. Eddie, well, Alex, you can give your reasoning if you like.
Adam made a play. If he's a wolf, then we know that he's a wolf by making this play. If he was kidding, like I think he was, then Eddie should still be alive and we can keep going, have another nomination.
Okay. Eddie, I'm going to mute everybody and give you your defense.
It seems to be.
Sorry, if you could start over.
Yeah, I've been name dropped twice and I've not even said anything yet. Day's only just started. Yeah, so I don't think Adam's a Santa, kind of like the Santa Wolf. I think he was just kind of like making a bit of a play. I know he does like to read into the rules of a role and try and make some out there plays off the bat normally. So it seems like a normal Adam thing to do. But yeah, that's fine. I mean, don't kill me. I'm obviously a tourist. Well, it's not obvious, but I am a tourist. I would like to play the game and try and get some reads to try and help the village. It's a second vote, obviously, so you don't have to kill me. But if I have been put on the naughty list, then I will actually die. So there we go.
Okay, anyone questions? Feel free to answer those.
I actually have a moderator question. I'm just curious if they're on, I think it's the nice list where they'll be protected no matter what. Will the day continue after that?
If it's the third nomination, we'll go to sleep. If it is not, the day would continue.
And what about the naughty list? Is that the same?
Hold up. If you vote, no. If it's the third nomination, we go to sleep. If it is an earlier nomination and enough people vote down, we would still go to sleep. But if it's, votes up, you wouldn't even really know, and the day would continue. Adam, do you
Is
have
that the same for the naughty list as well? Sorry, I meant to ask about both. Just does the naughty list affect like everyone going to sleep?
Yeah.
Eddie, I think we're waiting on you to call on one.
Yeah. I would appreciate it that people could call.
Oh, right. Sorry. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, sorry. Great. Great.
Eddie, would you agree that the more nominations we do and the faster, less thinking we do for our nominations, the more power we give the Santa Wolf?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get my head around the role, but it would seem that way. I think it's I think it's quite risky to kind of like put random people up once the Santa Wolf starts getting reads on who actually is a tourist. So it's really risky to put people up. this Thursday, it's less risk because obviously the Santa Wolf doesn't actually know. He's got no reads at all, or she's got no reads at all at the moment. So I think that maybe the Santa Wolf wouldn't have put someone on a nice and naughty list night one. That's what I think potentially. Adam?
Eddie, will you forgive me if Santa actually did put you on their naughty list and you die because I randomly said your name trying to out a wolf?
Well, you give me a nice compliment and said I was a good player, so I'll forgive you. It's all
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Okay, everybody ready to vote? Okay, we're going to be voting on Eddie. Vote up to save Eddie. Vote down to kill Eddie. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It looks like everybody's up. Eddie survives.
Question for Jesse.
Yes.
Is there a timer? And if there is, how much time do we have left?
No official timer today.
Could
we
we
talk
use some
for a
time to
little
talk?
bit?
Yeah.
I'm guessing some of the holidays may give us a timer since he said no timer for today.
I'm a little nervous about Devil's Night. That sounds pretty scary.
Is that an American holiday?
What do people think that might mean?
I don't
That
think
sounds
we
awesome
should
to
waste
me.
our time trying to figure it out because it's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah,
I
no,
think we need to worry about wolves right now.
Okay.
Alex, why did you feel the need to quickly nominate Eddie, considering that we had like less than a minute worth of discussion after Adam's the vote on Adam?
Because it seemed like a pressing thing that we would get a huge amount of information from compared to the bickering and arguing over nothing that we usually do that gives us no information.
And we couldn't have talked a little bit more before?
Well, now we have all time to talk, so let's just talk now. How about that? Now we know that Eddie is not targeted by the Santa Wolf and Adam was making a play. That makes me trust Adam more, and I think that's more valuable than anything else we could have done there. And I disagree that it's like super dangerous to nominate people when we have a 1 in 18 chance of hitting somebody that the Santa Wolf picked last night. Like
today,
maybe when we get down
today.
to fewer people and we have a little bit more information, but this is day one. We don't know who the Santa Wolf is, why they would target somebody. We have absolutely no information.
Yeah, today, fine. But like, if you were to kind of like the Santa Wolf, you can get some good reads on who villagers are, even if kind of like one of the wolves is blagging.
Well, they would need day one to make those decisions, wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'm not on about day one, but I'm on about kind of like in the later days. It's very risky to put people up for nomination if the Santa Wolf gets good reads on who the villagers or tourists are.
Sure, that's fair enough. I just feel like there's a lot of people like, oh, Alex is bad because he did this thing that had no bad repercussions for the village.
Yeah, I mean, I've not got an issue with that at the moment, Alex, at all.
Ned had
went to say
something
something,
to
Ned.
Yeah. By reading the description of Santa Wolf, it says has the option. That means Santa Wolf doesn't have to do this, right?
Correct.
That is correct. They
Okay,
would not
okay.
have to act. It's just if they use one list, they have to use both lists.
But they are a wolf, so they probably will want to kill villagers as quick as possible.
But they might kill
Cody, what-
wolves, right? Yeah.
They probably also want to
that's why it's
protect
important.
Yeah.
wolves too, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cody, why did you second Adam's nomination? Because it's very
Because
fast.
he said he was the Santa Wolf, and I don't usually tolerate people saying that they're a wolf, because I think people being able to say that and they're actually a wolf and getting away with it long term is just dangerous. So I tend to want to get those people out. Alex does it, and I got him out on a first nomination once. He was a villager, and I'm sure he'll still do it, but I don't like it, so I will want to vote those people. I voted up because I believe in though.
Jerry, why are you questioning Cody and not Graham?
Graham got asked a question about why he nominated, but no one asked Cody.
What was the
Per
question,
se?
Jesse? When people die, will we find out what team they're on?
If they die during the day, I will tell you, but not at night.
So, go ahead. Ed.
Sorry, go on, Adam.
I was going to say that the other one didn't work. So let's try this. Cupid Wolf, tell me who your two people were, and I'll nominate one of them.
Brayden.
Okay.
Bit of a meta kind of like meta read. Do you think that kind of like Jesse forgot to mention the Cupid and the Easter bunny wolves because they're not in the game?
Maybe Santa's not in
No.
it.
I mean, he forgot to put a roll on the list, so I think he just has a lot of
There's
rolls.
some
And
crazy demons behind.
Maybe none of us are
Jesse?
actually in the game. My God.
Is there anything preventing the Cupid Wolf from just holding up the name of one of the two people that they picked and then having those two people just die? Because I'm just putting it out there. I think that they can just get those two people killed, unfortunately.
You have to do it during the day for it to work.
Yeah.
Is it during the day?
It's
Yeah.
during
Yeah,
the day.
Cupid only
So
works
that,
during
that doesn't really happen.
I didn't.
yeah.
Okay, good.
If they if one of the lovers dies at night, then the
Okay, during the day. Good. Okay. I didn't.
I'll say Cody's
Suitable,
probably
but-
not the Cupid Wolf if you didn't even read the roll.
All right.
Maybe it's a clever play.
Could be.
And I know someone said it's not worth talking about potentially what the holiday, the power could be, but I think it is maybe worth talking about it, and like, because it kind of like might give us a clue of potentially what might happen. Do you know what I mean? So we've got, so someone extra dies during the night, then we can maybe kind of like work out like Devil's Night or whatever sounds like maybe someone extra might die during the night or something like that. And at least we maybe can theorize that that was a potential reason for it. So I don't know, there's some value in talking about what those holidays could be.
Well, I'm team Halloween, and that's why I picked 10, because I figured like October, maybe Halloween. So we got Devil's Night because of that.
Yeah.
No idea what that could be, but talk away
it-
if you have ideas.
Wasn't that in the movie Lost Boys?
Devil's Night was November 1st.
Is there some more something with gangs riding around causing carnage? I think.
Is this an actual thing? Is Devil's Night like a real thing?
It's the night before Halloween, October 30th.
That's All Hallows Eve.
Is that on the film?
No, that's
12?
That's Mischief
no, it's what was that? No, never mind. Throughout the day before Halloween was something.
Hallows Eve, yeah.
Wikipedia says it's related to Mischief Night.
Yeah. Okay.
Adam,
so Chris R, when you wake up tonight with the wolves, are you going to put one of the other Chris's names on so that you're the only Chris in the game?
Sounds like a funny idea if I actually would wake up at night with a wasp, which I do not do.
What if all the Chris's are the wolves?
It would be a crazy lucky roll. But, no, I don't wake up with a wasp because I'm not a wolf. I actually trust Adam. After this play, I don't have any reads on anybody else right now, but I think Adam was truthful. But yeah, it said there's no secret Chris faction in this game.
George, you're a wolf again? You wolf again, George?
Oh, sorry. I misheard you. Me? No.
How's the jungle
This
treating you?
time. I'm still recovering, trying to integrate myself with society, step at a time. Doing okay.
But you, Jerry,
Werewolf
what do you know?
rehabilitation program.
I'm on village team, Gwen. Just trying to ask a bit more questions, trying not to be quite so quiet because I always get called out for being too quiet. So I'm just trying to be a bit more proactive. Being asking questions.
Joe a question, Jerry.
Joe.
How's it
Hi.
going?
Hello. Any thoughts? Chuck you in at the deep end. Nice pair of snowshoes.
Well, I'm just trying to get reads. Like I've never played with this group.
Should we try and go for like a baseline, right? Joe, what is your favorite color? Answer honestly,
Orange.
please.
Orange. I like orange.
He's lying. Get him.
Look out, Joe. You're in the middle of the road.
What's your favorite
mean-
pizza topping?
I mean, Don't vote for me because of this, but I like pineapple on pizza.
Oh
I
no.
do. I do.
Christ.
I'm with you, John. I'm with you.
Anybody kills Joe, I'm gonna kill you. And
Get the heck out.
that's the only answer that was acceptable.
Yeah. It feels healthy when you put pineapple on pizza. It feels healthy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm not. It
It
feels
turns
like
it
I'm
in. It becomes a salad. Oh,
Eat
yeah.
pineapple without the pizza. I agree. Pineapple's nice. Why just put on pizza?
not- it's just nice when it's warm and next to ham.
Oh,
Flick wants to talk.
There's places in Europe where they put banana on pizza, because I know in my hometown we have one pizzeria that does it, because we've had a lot of people request it because they've had it elsewhere. And I think there's somewhere you can do curried banana on pizza, and it sounds really weird, but it's actually not as bad as you think.
No, that's just that's like no that whole subject.
I guess you'd have to like bananas in the first place.
Yeah,
I'll
but
have to try that.
surprisingly,
I
well,
will-
if you think about it, tomato is technically a fruit.
I feel like some quiet people that I haven't really heard from are Davey, Christopher, Victoria. I heard Braden respond to a couple of things a little bit, but I haven't really heard what his thoughts are. So any of those people, I wouldn't mind just hearing a little bit from them.
I mean, the people you've heard from haven't been talking anything game talk recently, so
Fair.
definitely something to keep note of, not just the.
I can say I'm a little bit quiet because it's my first time with all these special roles, so it's a little bit confusing. So that's the reason I'm a little bit quiet. So
Well, we're here with you because these are roles that Jesse's concocted, so we're kind of coming to terms with them too.
yeah,
I feel like there's not a whole lot to go off of right now, because not many of the special roles are going to have much information so far. But the only thing I feel like that we could possibly discuss is those of you that play a lot, are any of you getting any reads based on behavior of the people that you play a lot with? Like, there's nothing really to go on right now, I think, besides like social cues, but it's hard when not everyone knows each other.
Well, I think Ned is really suspicious of Davy, but other than that, I don't know.
Do you want to ask him about that?
No, he doesn't.
I'm presuming whoever Karen is because I think they have the option of asking a question. They've got 12 questions. I'm presuming they are definitely asking a question. I hope they are asking a question every night. Well, I think that's
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's going to be really good information throughout the because he said that they are definitely good questions for the village, right? So
yeah, and I think
Josh,
kind of
what are
like
your
the wolf roles feel powerful, so I think Karen's role, I think it
balances it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Karen is an interesting one because it's kind of like the seer, right? Like, but it's a seer that's guaranteed to get helpful information. So when you come out becomes really important.
Does
Right?
anyone want to
How do
read
we
into
know
the
it's
fact
helpful
that
information?
Jesse, when he woke up Karen and got the question, he said, "Oh wait, I screwed that up."
I thought he said he screwed up by not calling someone, and then he backtracked and then.
Oh, okay.
I'll end the mystery. It was just because I forgot about in my order. I had the Cupid Wolf and the Easter Bunny Wolf earlier, and I forgot them till the very end. That was that.
makes
But
sense.
I'm not going to tell you guys any more stuff like that. You'll have to figure it out yourself.
Adam, were you not convinced that Karen's questions would help the village?
No, I mean, I don't know how it could. I don't know what they could be that would be extremely helpful. I guess maybe it's like, is this role in the game? Is this role in the game? Maybe questions. How many wolves start? I don't know. I guess we do have
it depends.
numbers.
It depends how
We do
useful
have numbers
the
and nothing
questions
else
are.
uses the numbers, so maybe they're
Yeah.
number oriented. I don't know.
No.
One I thought of, sorry, one I thought of like that could possibly be a question is like about what the confused seer is seeing. Like maybe it could be a helpful role for them to like know what the symbols mean or something. I don't know. Anyway, Josh.
So here's my thoughts. I actually thought maybe the party pooper might have wanted to come out earlier to validate themselves as being on the tourist village team. When Jesse announced that we were going to have that today was Devil's Night. That sounds a bit ominous. Maybe
Yeah.
there's bad stuff that we can't control during the daytime. Maybe it affects tonight. So maybe that would have been a good time. But all I'm just going to say is maybe come out a little bit earlier and we have a confirmed villager.
I'm
We
not
don't know
planning
what
on
any-
keeping on any parties anytime soon.
announced,
but-
you know.
We
I
don't
think
even have one, so.
I'm not totally surprised the party pooper didn't come out because I feel like they'd want to see maybe what a holiday entails before they end one.
Yeah.
That's what my impression was. Like they didn't want to do that just to, because it's part of the game experience. Maybe they aren't actually a party pooper and they just want to see how things play out.
They can also confirm themselves anytime in the game, and if they make it pretty far,
Yeah.
then it's better to confirm themselves later and not get killed off by the werewolves early on.
I will also say that since it's Devil's Night, if you don't get information, people with night rolls, I would be cautious, like a seer. Maybe Devil's Night means you'll get incorrect
False information.
information. So I would be cautious of any information you learn tonight since it's called Devil's Night.
One of my theories is that it will be similar to Alex's item that I used in his mystery game,
I'm gonna
where
run to the
it's a night where
restroom,
only the
continue
wolves
talking.
wake up.
Like, think about third nomination or something while I'm gone. I'll be right back.
So
I
my
nominate
theory is
Jesse.
just potentially it's one where only the wolves will wake up, they get to kill, and none of the night rolls wake up, which was something that happened in one of Alex's games. Maybe Jesse's kind of turned it into a holiday. So that's something to consider as well. It would be nice to get a wolf today if we can.
I mean,
we'll
it's
find
also
out
possible
tonight.
Sorry, go ahead, Alex. I talked over you.
No, I was just going to say, I guess we'll find that out tonight if something weird
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
during the day or during the
Yeah,
day.
I've
In
got a feeling
case-
that. Sorry, go on.
In case there's like maybe an extra kill somewhere there, we have to be cautious because it could be like an extra kill that is part of the rules of the Devil's Night, or it could just be the orphan dying as well. So
Yeah.
orphan had better
Or the
be
quack.
getting good reads.
I've got a feeling
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've got a feeling like the holidays are going to be a mixture of good for the village, good for the wolf. So
Yeah.
I mean, the party pooper is quite useless. It's kind of like they're just coming out on a random thing. So I actually think if the holiday name does sound bad, the party pooper should come out on one of those, kind of like to cancel one of those holidays. Because if it's just a party pooper coming and cancelling any random holiday and Jesse's mixed them up and the good and bad thing doesn't matter, then the party pooper's role is pretty weak. So I reckon the party pooper will be able to kind of like read into the names to decide
Well, I
whether
mean,
it's a wolf benefit or a village benefit potentially.
What if it's
We don't
just
really know what any of the holidays are. Like,
Yeah.
it could
Yeah,
be
I know,
Puppies
I
and
know.
Rainbows Day, and it could be like the wolves get 3 kills.
Yeah,
or something.
exactly. It could be.
Well, here's an idea about that. Are the holidays related to the wolf roles that are in the game?
We don't know.
No, they're
But-
just-
but
So
it's-
I
far-
suspect that Alex kind of had it bang on. It may be mixed up, but he guessed 10. 10 happened to be a kind of Halloween themed holiday. Maybe they're in order. There's 12 of them. So maybe
I would imagine so. Yeah.
January is New Year's and
Well,
something
August,
happens.
August doesn't have a holiday. What do you do for that?
You want some kind of Christmassy themed thing? Go 12. You know, that's
Yeah.
what I was
Run to
thinking.
the restroom real quick. You guys can keep talking though.
Oh, thank you.
There's holidays everywhere. I mean, there's also like National Ice Cream Day. So don't.
Arbor Day.
Yeah.
When National
Bobby
Ice Cream
comes
still talk
back,
like a pirate
I
day?
would like a third nomination soon, please.
I want
Just to
to.
quickly take it back to the party people role, though. Like, what's I think they should just keep quiet as long as they can, really. Because what's going to happen when they come out? They're going to confirm themselves, and they're going to get killed, right? Like, the wolves aren't going to leave like a confirmed villager alive for long, are they?
Well, but the wolves may go after more powerful,
Yeah.
unconfirmed. Like they'll still try to get the seer or the bodyguard or something. I
Putting
we'll
me
probably
in my
If it says
have
something
to
like it's
say
National
earlier-
Werewolf Day, that can come out.
Buddy
I
mentioned
mean,
my name
ideally,
earlier
it would
about
be-
not talking, so I want to do so before we go into the third nominee in the night. Christopher mentioned that there wasn't much to go on. I have 3 things, even though there isn't much to go off. Christopher voted down on Adam, which Flick pointed out. I thought that was weird. Graham has not stopped us from all of the side discussions, not hunting for a wolf, which usually when he's a villager, he's
No
usually
timer.
totally against the time discussion, but I mean the discussion, but like he said, there's no timer. And then Flick looks like she's been eating when she usually, or biting her nails, but she usually takes a lot of notes. So I'm wondering if she's taking notes.
I'm
Those are
eating
my
sunflower
three.
seeds because I have a hankering for salty things and they're salted. So
Those are my three
I
suspicions.
was like my head. I have paper here to take notes, but mostly you can't. Okay. So yeah, you can't see this, but there is technically paper. But yes, sunflower seeds, pepas in Spanish, and I love them. And if you haven't tried them, I recommend them and have them shelled. But
Davey,
yeah,
were you saying it was suspicious that Christopher voted for me, or that Flick called him out? Which were you saying was the suspicious thing?
No, I was saying since there isn't much to go on, Christopher being the only one to vote down was one of those things. Maybe he's a werewolf and like you're a villager and he's like, nah, let's get him out. And then Graham and Flick. Those are the three on my list.
I don't need to run too counter to that. I'm not defending anybody, but I do tend to trust people who vote down when the rest of the village votes up. Wolves are all about conformity. They want to not stand out. So someone standing out like that, you know, if they're a werewolf, kind of puts a target on their back, like you just pointed out there. So I just want to put that out there. I could be wrong, but I just find that pointing to votes like that might end up with villagers being pitted against villagers.
I would like a third nomination or a nomination to go to sleep, but it's been a long day one, so.
Well, I am a tourist, so if you guys want to hunt wolves, I would nominate someone else, but I get that you may be suspicious because I'm the only one that voted down on Adam. If this goal in the first day is to try and find a wolf, I wouldn't vote for me, but if you want to try to save a more special role, like I don't have any special abilities, so I'd rather die than someone who has special abilities. If you guys want to go that route, then you can vote me.
I'll nominate Flick.
All right, Flick has been nominated. Is there a second?
David
Hey, Davey seconds. Okay, I'm gonna mute. Cody, you can give your reasoning.
I do agree with Davey's logic. I haven't seen her write down too much personally, but it is off screen, so it could be wrong in there. But I agree mostly with what Davey's been saying.
Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, Flick, you can give your defense.
that is a really poor reason to choose to put someone up for nominating. And like, if I stay alive, which I may not, I would say Cody's very sus. And you know, potentially later in the game, you might regret that. Take that as you will, but like, I think Cody, that's really weird. Literally, notes. But you know what? If you want to kill me, that's fine, because I'm happy to watch, because this is going to be an entertaining game. Because I have got sunflower seeds here, and I'm pretty content to just keep eating.
Questions, field the questions as you see fit, please.
Yeah, well, whoever wants to go first, like George, because you're above me in this, so hi to my upwards neighbor.
By the power. Do you think that as human beings we're limited by evolution of only having two arms and not having a third arm to be able to take notes while we eat? Is that something you feel?
I mean, the things I could do with a third arm, that would be pretty cool. Where would it go? Would it go like on my side, under one
Stomach,
arm?
center.
If so, I like symmetry. I would need 4 arms.
Do you wish you were an octopus so you had more arms?
Oh my god, that would be so handy. Like seriously, I don't have enough time. I'm a bit of a multitasker, so like being an octopus would be my idea of heaven. Also, octopus are really smart. Eddie, is that a hand?
Yeah, it is hand. Do you think that there is any benefit from not, because you deferred nomination, do you think there's any benefit from not killing anyone today?
I mean, obviously, I don't want to die. I would quite like to stay put. But I mean, I know the village generally kills on the third nomination. I am on the village team. It is a loss to the village. I think the werewolves are probably doing this because there has been a thing about killing me off early in games. Because like odds are, I mean, I say this now, they'll probably not, but like odds are I'd get killed probably day 4, day 5 by werewolves, if not earlier. And by saying that, they may not kill me now, but that generally happens. They try to get me out of the game early. So I would just say that's interesting that I'm, you know, 3rd nomination on first day. Cody.
So besides coming after me for nominating you, do you have any other suspicions of any other wolves? Also, I'm usually one in the camp of not killing you off because I don't like metagaming. And so the only reason I voted you is because I think you're a werewolf and I want it to be read as just that.
That's not a question.
That's not really a question.
I did ask a question. I asked what your suspicions are.
Well, I haven't really got any suspicions, right? Except possibly you and maybe Christopher, and that's based off things from the start of the game. It's not enough for me to say that's a definitive sus, because I like a bit more to go on. I do think saying because I was eating something, that immediately means I must die in the game. Because like, I tend to nibble at this point. I am a nighttime eater because I don't eat during the day, except for coffee, which isn't food. But, you know, historically as a werewolf, I'm pretty awful. So
Were you eating tourists?
I would like.
I mean, I am eating sunflower seeds.
Graham's
and
question to be the last
I'm
question.
originally in
I
Spain.
don't have a question
Okay.
anymore.
So I
Alright.
am a tourist in that way with my food.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody, and we're going to vote on Flick. Voting up to save Flick, vote down to kill Flick. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is a tie. Flick survives. And everyone, please go to sleep. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody again. Give me one moment, please. Okay, can I have my orphan wake up, please? My orphan, who would you like to hide behind today? Okay, thank you very much. Good, please go back to sleep. Can I have my bodyguard wake up, please? Who would you like to protect today? Okay, thank you very much. Please go back to sleep. Can I have all of my werewolves except for Santa Wolf wake up, please? All of my werewolves except for Santa Wolf. Hold on one moment, please. Just give me 1 second. And if you please show me who you want to target tonight. Do you all agree? I need an agreement, please. Okay, we agree on that? Okay. Please go to, wait, could you show me again one more time, please, the werewolves? Please show me who you are targeting. Okay, thank you very much. Everyone, please go back to bed. Can I have my Krampus wolf wake up, please? My Krampus wolf. Who would you like to look for the orphan tonight? Okay. If so, who would you like to pick? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Please go to sleep. Can I have Santa Wolf wake up, please? Santa Wolf, who would you like to put on your naughty list and nice list if you want to put someone on? Okay. And your nice list, please. All right. Please go to sleep. Can I have my Quack wake up, please? Quack, would you like to use one of your cure potions? Please say yes if you would like to use one of your cure potions. Okay, please, okay, thank you. And if you would like to use a kill potion, please say yes. Okay, thank you very much. Please go to sleep. And 1 second. I need my Karen to wake up, please. Karen, please give me the number of the question you want. Okay, thank you. Please go to sleep. And can I have my confused seer wake up, please? Confused seer, who would you like to check tonight? Hold on one moment, please. Thank you. Please go to sleep. And now, if I could have everyone wake up, except for Chris A. and Victoria have died. Chris A. and Victoria have died, and I'm going to pick a random number, and it's Joe. Joe, pick a number between 1 and 12, but not 10.
4.
All right, number 4, number 4. Okay, number 4 is Day of the Dead.
Jesse, I'm gonna let you finish, but we all know Devil's Night's the best holiday. I'm gonna cancel this crap.
Okay, it is a regular day. It is not Day of the Dead. Continue with the day.
You didn't want to play with that Motus?
I was going to bring Chris and Victoria back to life.
I'd actually like to come out as well. I'm the reason why Victoria was picked. She wasn't a wolf target. I'm the quack. I've cured myself. Hopefully I wasn't poisoned and I'll get to live further. The bodyguard maybe can protect me. But I don't think I'm that useful. I'm going to use my other cure potion tonight, so I'm a good target for the wolves. If anybody knows that they're poisoned, or if there's anybody who might be able to point me in the right direction to using that last cure potion. But I just wanted to come out because I didn't want speculation about why there were 2 kills. I thought she was a werewolf, but we don't get any confirmation. I thought she was a werewolf. I was getting some reads on her.
I assumed that the 2 kills was probably Devil's Night, but I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, the wolves seem to take ages, so I thought it was definitely.
I implore someone to please counterclaim me. I don't hear one. I feel like it would be pretty immediate, so.
I'll agree with you, Cody. I was gonna put some sus on Victoria if she survived. I don't know if you got the same read as me, but in day 1, when Adam tried his little play of trying to get the wolves to slip up, when she questioned him about how the Santa Wolf is unknown to the rest, it kind of felt like a secret message to maybe the real Santa Wolf, like, oh, I'm a wolf too. I don't know, or maybe that she's a Santa Wolf. I kind of read it like that she was like slipping it in, that she's on the wolf team by like pretending ignorance with Adam's little play. But I don't know, but she died, so.
I had different reads, but yeah, I don't know.
It's quite balls using your kill on night 2.
And non-Victoria, no less. Sad.
Jesse, do you not tell us the team that people are on when they die?
No.
To be fair, if you have the ability to kill, you
Not
gotta
during
use it
nighttime.
before you die.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I didn't
Cody,
want to
did you
get
think there was
voted
a
out
risk
as
of you
well.
being targeted?
Pardon me?
Did you think there was a risk of you being targeted last night?
To be honest, no, I didn't think there was a risk because I had a lot of suspicion on me, and I kind of let that suspicion build on me a little bit because I did have a role and I wanted to use it that night. So I knew the wolves probably wouldn't target me that night. I wasn't aware if I was going to wake up in the morning or not to be able to share that, to be honest.
So if that's all true, then the long kill by the wolves was having to agree on Chris, which would make sense because Chris would seem like an odd kill unless it's someone who knows that when Chris has an important role, he's usually more quiet than he is normally, which is hard to believe. So I feel like the wolf pushing for Chris to die probably had a decent read on him potentially having a good role.
Is there anyone who has a good read on Chris?
I'm not saying Josh. I'm not at all saying Josh. I think when Chris has a good role, he's easy to read that he has a good role, personally.
Yeah. I mean, he's usually quiet, but he's extra quiet.
So in a normal werewolf day, do we have a timer, Jesse?
Yeah, because I'm afraid this game will go.
I'm not going to do timers. I have too much to keep track of. But you know, I would appreciate not taking too long. So, but I would say, you know, unofficial timer. The day is yours.
Also, this is the Day of the Dead. I don't know if
No,
it
it's
has any.
Day of the Dead.
No, it's cancelled.
Cancel it.
Oh,
Cancel it.
sorry. That's
Yeah,
right.
cancel that garbage.
Alex,
man.
please
Devil's Day
dad.
forever.
It's just another Thursday.
I think potentially did the right thing there, Alex. I definitely think that, you know, bad sounding holidays are bad potential. I don't know.
It
actually.
sounds like they're
The-
all going to be bad sounding holidays,
The
but
only thing I still want to harp on is that said day and the other one said night. So maybe those will be an indication of when things will take
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
That's really all I was bringing up.
Maybe.
And we have
Celebrating the dead. So, like, I don't know if I had written it because you're celebrating the dead. There was maybe the potential for someone who had died to maybe say something, or maybe to come back, or something like that.
I was going to use my
because
power on the first day if it was anything that wasn't like Halloween related, but then I got the choice to choose, and then it was Devil's Night, so I'm like, cool, sure.
Yeah, but Day of the Dead is also a pretty.
Yeah, it sounds a little Halloweeny, but you know, I still wanted to use the power.
But it's not like we can read into his choice. We know he's good. He's confirmed.
Yeah.
But if the
Maybe-
theory
did
is
you think-
correct, then what happened last night?
so we
Maybe-
don't have any idea what last night's
Right.
Devil's Night was.
I
Very
mean,
good.
if we have a bodyguard in the game, which I think we do,
I
I
think
think it's
it's-
confirmed role, then if there were 2 kills other than mine on Victoria, potentially the bodyguard managed to protect, or the wolves hit a Santa Claus, because I think the wolves target the Santa Claus, they don't die, and that kind of gives the wolves an indication that they have.
Well, if
It's
I was
good
putting on my
cause.
moderator's hat, I would think that there's a strong possibility that these holidays aren't necessarily as like drastic of a change as we think, that maybe they, you know, when the day is in effect, there's some sort of trigger that something will happen. Like if there's, you know, I don't know what that would be, but you know, something happens, then it changes the way that the game works, but it's not necessarily like, oh, the wolves get 2 kills or something like that. It's not guaranteed to affect us.
Fair.
Graham, did you ask me something?
I was just wondering if you thought the village was going to kill Flick, or why you felt the need to second that.
Oh, Flick was one of my 3 people, so I wanted to see one of you 3 nominated. So I would have seconded any 3 of you that was nominated. And then when Flick gave her defense, which didn't point to any suspicion on anybody other than Cody who nominated her, I didn't believe it.
She also mentioned Christopher, which was on your list as well.
Oh, that's right. She
Yeah.
did. She did.
Yeah, like it's day 1. I'm not sure what you think I am, some sort of psychic. I can't just be all like,
No,
"Ooh,
it's like I don't. Every
I
other
don't
game
either,
you play,
Flick.
You have like 30 pages of notes.
No, I have notes sometimes, and sometimes my notes are so awful that I can't follow them. Like,
Did I hear a nomination?
ones, I sometimes have arrows with a question mark And then sometimes it's literally, I do need to bring out a Yahoo's thing.
I don't care whether she has suspicions or notes or not. I just thought it was a really bad defense. I thought, sorry,
Well,
Flay.
what do you want me to say? Like, I know I'm on the village team. I have no information. People seem to think I'm some sort of savant, and I haven't got any information to provide to the villagers. Like, yeah, I'm confident that's a werewolf.
I just expect your defense to be a little less defensive. I don't know.
It's defensive because I get killed off all the time early in games, and it sucks. And especially it sucks on the first one because like I spent all day being like, hey, I got werewolf tonight, kind of excited about it. And when I get killed off straight off the bat, sucks. I mean, I don't mind watching the game because, you know, that's great too. But it does suck when you come and signed up to play a game. You know, first night, it sucks. What do you want me to say? It sucks. Especially if it's all like, I saw you eating. That's terrible. That's a crime. I'm like, my God, what else? Like, I'm trying to believe
So
my board game selection terrible because that will be the next one. My God,
What's
I
up,
think
Chris?
Flip, calm down.
I have a
Flip.
question. So if the orphan were hiding, so say Chris was the orphan and was hiding behind Victoria and Cody killed Victoria, would that orphan still die, or would they only die if it was the werewolf that killed the person they hid behind?
Yeah, they would die, yeah.
It would die, but it would also
So
die.
potentially
It
the
says
werewolf.
targeted
So
by
let
the
the
wolves.
Moderator
Canceled
answer it
out.
because it can be played differently. Jesse, how would you resolve that?
If the quack were to use a kill potion on the orphan and they were hiding with somebody, or if the orphan was hiding with the person they used
Person
the
they're
kill potion,
hiding, yeah.
I would say that the orphan would not
Targeted
die
person,
in
yeah.
that, because it's a potion.
On the rules, it says by the wolves anyway. On your rules here, so.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
think
was.
we can-
I don't even think I've played with
I think we
orphan
can rule
before,
that
so
out.
I was super
I
confused.
didn't hide
Based on
behind
his
Victoria,
coming up with
so
an
it doesn't
impromptu
matter.
response, we can assume that probably didn't happen last night.
Sorry, what did you say, Adam?
I said I didn't hide behind Victoria last night, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, I didn't.
Adam, how many roles will you claim this game?
Yeah.
All of them.
New Guami.
Enough.
I mean, I think you're good, Adam. I just want to know if there's like, if you have like a set number.
No.
4 or 5.
Maybe if he claims enough, the wolves will target him. He's the orphan.
But
Maybe
what
if he
the
claims
orphan
enough,
has-
the holiday will kill him.
Silas that?
But what if the orphan has a hide behind a werewolf? It would die. Maybe
that.
that's why they're two.
There is the special like baby new wolf, which the
Oh, yeah,
orphan
well,
can hide
Right,
behind
that's why
successfully.
I don't want to say
That's
who
right.
I hid behind to clear someone because it doesn't necessarily clear them.
That's good. I think that's good.
Still good information.
Well, I can all but guarantee that between Graham and Flick, one of them, if not both of them, are wolves. But Flick is being far more entertaining, so I'm going to nominate Graham.
Okay, Graham has been nominated. I see 2 seconds. Alex, would you care to say why?
Yeah, I think Graham's being a little quiet. He's had some bad logic, which to me is not really a Graham thing. Going after me, putting like sus on Cody at different points. Like, it seems like he's trying to lead the village in ways, but then kind of fade back into the background, which just seems kind of werewolfy to me.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. Graham, you can give your defense.
I think the 2 people Alex mentioned that I went after them both for the same reason. I thought they were terrible nominations. Flick is either helpful to the village or plays so terribly as a wolf that she makes it super obvious, and everybody in the village agrees that we need to kill her. So nominating her day 1 when the village isn't sure and it came out of the blue seemed like a really, really terrible nomination to me. Alex nominating Eddie and potentially ending the day early was also a terrible nomination in my mind, and Josh seemed to agree with me on that as well. If Alex can guarantee that one of Flick's or I is a wolf, then you can kill me and then kill Flick next. I did think her defense yesterday was bad, which is why I voted down on it ultimately anyway. But yeah,
I
if
mean,
we're
like-
just
I'm
go ahead.
just going to pop in and say, like, I'm happy if you guys want to like do that and you want to kill them, and then you can kill me the next night. I have no issues with that. I'll
Any
go
que-
along with that.
Any questions
I-
for Graham? No?
What's up, Adam? You're muted.
Of the people like, say, Joe, Lizette, George, Ned, Jerry, Chris R, that have been fairly quiet, do any of them pop to mind as potentially being wolves? Or whatever, yeah, wolves in this game.
I mean, probably, but to pick one quiet person versus another quiet person, I don't have one reason to pick anyone over another. Yeah, I'd say in general, at this point, we're basically stalling until people with information can come out. So if we want to end the day killing somebody who doesn't have any information, then that may be useful. But what's up, Lizette?
Are you suspicious about anybody else but Flick?
Well, I started off, I mean, I feel like Cody's cleared at this point. I was super suspicious of him yesterday. I didn't like Davies second on the nomination, but then after Flick's terrible defense, she's my most prime suspect, I guess.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going, any more questions? I'm gonna mute everybody. This is the first vote of the day. We're gonna vote up to save Graham, vote down to kill Graham. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 down, that is not enough. The day continues.
All voted down?
I got Cody, Christopher, and Adam. Who did Alex?
Alex and Jerry.
And Jerry. Christopher, hi. I don't think I've played with you before.
I'll be right back.
How come you nominated down quite a bit? Why did you nominate down on that one? I'm not saying you're a wolf or anything, but I just want to. I'm interested in your thought process.
Well, this time, I mean, I only played a couple times, and I have played with Graham, and I feel like he is usually really talkative and really guides the conversation every day. And I feel like he hasn't really said anything this game, which does make me kind of suspicious. And then I inherently trust Alex because he's been confirmed. And Alex, I know, has played with Graham a lot. And so if Graham is suspicious of his behavior, which I was also suspicious of, then I trust that that's probably accurate.
Okay, thank you.
Good thought process.
I voted down just
Checks
because
out.
the reason Graham normally does certain things that he's not doing this game, and when he doesn't do those certain things, it's generally when he's a wolf. So that's why I'm voted down on him.
It's a bit vague. He does certain things.
Okay, he normally does a Gwami and claims every role going, and he hasn't done that.
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of.
He
You're very
did claim
keen to
Alex
get.
yesterday.
Sorry?
He did claim party pooper
I
yesterday.
did claim a party pooper, but then Alex went and used it, so that kind of went out the window.
I missed that bit. Okay.
I missed that also.
It was quick.
I didn't miss anything, right?
No, we nominated you.
And Adam, you voted down too?
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it, honestly. Something else was on my mind, so I just voted down. I didn't figure he would die, but
Who's
I
playing
want-
today is, since that's usually the...
What's that?
Who's playing today, since that's usually the thing that distracts you?
Well, I am... The A's are beating the Twins, but unfortunately Alex is on my team, so I can't nominate him because we're playing the Twins. No, I was thinking actually about the Cupid Wolf, because let's say, for instance, Cody was the Cupid Wolf and Flick was one of the people he picked. Not a quick, but a nomination on the third, hoping that would be a kill, would lead to 2 kills.
Yes, if I was a Cupid Wolf.
Right, I know, but I'm just trying to think
quack.
in general for the future. I think we have to be very cautious on.
Well, thanks for bringing that strategy up so the wolves can hear it.
I know.
I mean, Adam's touching on the same point, though, that the Santa Wolf, the Cupid Wolf, and then whatever the one is that gets to skip the third nomination. Just in general, there are 3 wolves that should push us towards being far more cautious than usual about when and who we nominate.
And that's why I made sure to nominate you first so we can come back to you on the third. and that way we don't have to nominate anybody else.
I think we can kind of like.
Well,
he's not. He hasn't
actually,
asked.
this
He hasn't-
nomination is important if we do have that one that can skip Father Time Wolf, if they can skip.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually hasn't asked the Pumpkin Wolf to wake up, so I'm presuming that's not in the game.
Look at smile. Look at
I'm
smile.
the Pumpkin King.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Good catch.
Which makes me. I don't think the Cupid Wolf's in it. I don't think the Cupid Wolf's in it.
Something I was thinking about at night when the wolves were taking a while to deliberate is, could it have been because they were trying to kill someone like Cupid Wolf had chosen, and they would prefer them to die in the day so that two people die.
Oh,
Could that be what took them so long to agree on who to kill, possibly?
I mean, it depends how many wolves are in the game, right? I mean, it's like 3 or 4. I don't know how many wolves are usually this size of the game, but say it's 3 or 4, and they're each kind of popped it with a different name. Then it could take a while for that to sort itself out.
is that what happened, George?
Yep, that's what happened. I can't confirm.
Christopher, are you? Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, it was quite. It was definitely a long deliberation, and Jesse asked them to wake up again and confirm.
Christopher, are you telling your wolves that's why you didn't agree with them, because you're the Cupid Wolf and you didn't want that person to die at night?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that halfway through this day that they understood that that's why I was holding up their votes the whole time.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page. Good, good.
Yeah.
What name
yeah.
did they hold up, Christopher?
They held up Flick.
Okay, so we don't want to kill Flick then. Gotcha.
I mean, that seems to be a really stupid play. Like, if I was a werewolf, I would probably keep me alive at the minute because people seem to keep gunning for me.
All right,
But
I'd
I'm
like a second
genuinely
nomination.
pretty-
from
I am
Christine.
genuinely pretty relaxed on this one because, like, I know I'm village, so it is a loss, but you can play straight into their hands.
I mean, I think a lot of that
You
was.
mean that pause?
Yeah, I don't know how serious all that little back and forth was, because people were claiming to wake up at night at werewolves. Can I go back to Jerry? I actually want to just nominate Jerry. I want to hear more from her.
I have the nomination for Jerry. Do I have a second?
I'll back you. I'll back you, Josh. I'll go second on it.
All right, Eddie has second. I'm going to mute everybody. And Josh, if you would like to say why, and then Jerry, you can give your defense.
Yeah.
Meh, is that all I get? Okay.
No respect.
I know. Okay. I am on the village team. Don't kill me. I trying to like vary up my little play style because I generally am way too quiet, and I'm trying to be a bit more vocal and a bit more actively listening to see who pops up repeated behavior. It takes me a while to learn that. So I am good. I am innocent. I am definitely on a good team. So far, the people I've got suspicions of are George, just something he said, I can't remember the exact sentence, but just something pinged up. Flick, because just the defense she gave, it was very Luciana in the way it just went on and sort of wasn't very succinct to stuff. And I was suspicious of Graham because, like I said, when he's good, he generally does like throw out good rolls and stuff to make himself as a target to protect the world players, and he hasn't been doing that this game. I believe Alex, and I believe Cody, and I believe Adam as well for what they've insinuated. So obviously Christopher, Lizette and Joe, I've never played with you before, so I have no idea. Chris always scares me because she's always quiet and she's turning into a really awesome player. And everyone else I'm still on the fence about.
Any questions you can field?
Adam? Flick? Adam the Flick.
Oh, okay. Do you think it's interesting that the person who seconded you for this nomination has been nominating a lot of people?
I second. I've not nominated anyone.
No. Seconding, being involved in all of this, being very chatty. I think it's sus, but I'm just wondering, do you think that's sus?
I haven't been writing down who very religiously on who nominates and stuff, but then I generally don't. No, Eddie, I'm still on fence. Yeah, Eddie, I'm still on the fence of. Adam?
You said that you believed me. Do you believe me when I say I'm the Santa Wolf, or do you believe me when I say I'm the orphan?
The orphan.
Okay.
George had a question, but he's just disappeared.
Cody, do you want to
Cody?
take these questions?
Yeah,
You don't
Cody.
have to if you don't want to.
Do you think in a day with unlimited time, more or less, the nomination on the second nomination, which we've all agreed is kind of potentially important nomination, is a bit weird from Josh there?
Josh is still on the fence about it. I don't know if he's good or bad, so I don't know. Obviously, normally time games, we are constrained, so this is obviously giving us a chance for people to talk, for people to slip up, either good or bad. So I don't know, that involves a level of reading people that I don't have.
All right, we're gonna vote.
I think George should have a question if he wants to ask it.
Yeah. George, did you have a
No, it's
question?
okay. I can't remember what the question was. It's all good.
All right, well then we're gonna go to voting. I'm gonna mute everybody. This is the second vote of the day. We're gonna vote up to save Jerry and vote down to kill Jerry. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. See 1, 2, 3. 3 down, that is not enough. The day continues.
Alex, let somebody else nominate me if you think I need to die. I'd rather, if I'm going to die, that at least
I'm not
some werewolf
nominating
is
you, at least not right
responsible
now.
for it.
Josh, you changed your mind?
I did. Her defense, I thought, was actually pretty good. I mean, I don't think I necessarily agree with the read on Graham. I think I'm trusting of Graham. So, I mean, but we can disagree.
And the reason why I seconded her, because when I asked Christopher to give a reason why he voted down, Jerry was very keen to give her reason as well, very quickly. So it put a mark, not enough to think that she's a wolf, but it put a bad mark against her for me.
So I'm trying to evolve my game and actually trying a bit more. Normally I sort of let things wash over me, but I'm actually trying to be a bit more focused when I play now. So,
Do you guys think that we don't have a Father Time Wolf, or that they're letting this day go through because they expect we're going to kill a villager, or?
I think they let it go through because we talked about them, and it would be kind of, I don't know. I don't think that they used it. Today, they're holding on to it, if we have one. I'd like to be careful with our nominations and be on the supposition that there may be that in the game.
An interesting
rather than-
idea, Cody. I like it. Being careful with our nominations. That's a clever idea.
Yeah.
can we hear off Ned
I
and Braden?
don't think what.
I was just going to say, can I hear off Braden and Ned? Because you haven't heard
Oh,
either of you.
yeah, I was just about to speak anyway. Great.
Hi.
I just like, obviously there's a lot of wolves that could be in the game. I'm looking at the list and it's like, there's just so many. There's obviously no pumpkin wolf, but there's just a bunch that could be in the game that I feel like it's hard to narrow down who's in it. I feel like if there is a Father Time Wolf, it makes me trust Jerry more, obviously. So I don't know. That's just
Graham, so I'm not nominating you or anything, but I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to hear from you. Do you think that if we're trying to be careful with our nominations, that going back to somebody who has had some sus on them, who was previously nominated, would be a good way to be careful with those nominations? Or how would you be careful with the nominations? What would your plan be?
I would say, like, if there's somebody that we're confident we want to kill as a village, then nominate them if we want that kill to go through. But then nominating somebody and then have nobody sure and then that nomination not going through, we didn't accomplish anything. So a quick nomination is a bad nomination. If the village seems like we're at a consensus, then yeah, let's vote someone out. If that's me, that's a bad decision, but that's okay. At this point, I think we're just looking at the folks that are here and the fact that about half of the room hasn't said anything, at least like anything that I remember, I think we're in real trouble as a village, because it's very easy for wolves to hide there.
I also just want to say something. We don't have a time limit. So when I said careful with our nominations, I mean, if you have questions from, say, Jerry, just say, hey, Jerry, what do you think, before you nominate her and potentially waste one of our nominations. That's all I'm saying.
I wanted to ask, because Alex is clear, and I think he said that either Graham or Flick are evil, right? Did you say that?
Those are my best suspicions right now. I'll walk back the guarantee, but
I do have actually, and I don't know. I have only played with Flick once, so I haven't a good read on her. But I do feel that Graham is not suspicious. Like it's just a gut thing that tells me that Graham.
I'm a little suspicious of Josh also for that nomination, but I don't know if that's. I give Josh more credit than that when he's a werewolf, I think. So
glad someone does.
Ned, can we hear from you, Ned?
Well, hear from me. Let's see. I'm just puzzling a lot of this because originally I thought Alex was suspicious day one, some because he wasn't going all, insane
Alex.
like he usually does. And when that happens, he's usually a wolf when he's more subdued, but he's not. So my reads on Graham about him being subdued are probably now off, but I mean, if Alex feels that way, then that kind of raises a red flag. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't really see anything. Jerry's defense is terrible, but all of the defenses are terrible, and it's notoriously they're terrible. So you can't really read much into those either. So as far as other people, I'm just, I know Davies pointing people out here and there, just kind of directing the spotlight elsewhere. But it seems to never be directed on him, and that's kind of my big suspicion right there.
Speaking of Davey, I feel like he's kind of faded in the background a little bit. With
Lizette's had
Lizette, did you want to?
Yeah.
I actually noted a question for you. When Jerry was nominated, you had a very large smile on your face.
Yes, Jerry
It
always-
looks like you were very happy. Please
Yeah, Jerry
explain.
always gets nominated, and when Jerry said certain people have been very quiet, I agree. I also think someone's been very vocal. I mean, I've already said who I think's been very vocal, but I do think some of the names called out very quiet are maybe trying to go under the radar potentially, and there could be reasons for that. I don't know. They may prove me wrong, but that would be where I'm leaning. And to be honest, I'm sick of the meta about me, so I'm just enjoying this game and having the crack. So whatever happens, I genuinely don't mind. But that's what I got.
Question for the village, for everybody who thought that Jerry had a terrible defense. What about her defense was terrible?
They're always terrible. I mean, it says
I didn't think it was terrible.
It sounds like she usually gives, and they're all kind of.
I thought
She
I my bed
actually gave
defenses.
suspicions this time, and I mean, it's been a while since I've actually heard. I think Jerry's defenses have actually been getting markedly improved.
I mean, I don't think she's a wolf. I voted up for her, but I'm just saying her defenses usually kind of meander, and most people are like, "Oh, their defenses were bad, so I'm voting down." I'm like, well, they're usually not that great, so I don't have any reads on her.
Anyways, Braden, Davey, and Joe, what do you think of everything? I just kind of haven't heard from you three personally.
I trust Jerry. I trusted her defense. I obviously, I'm still on Flick. I'm starting to trust Graham after his defense. I don't think that he's bad anymore. Before Jerry's nomination, I was looking at Josh because he had been pretty quiet. So I'm still about him. But Ned said I was putting spotlight on other people, and I was, because I had been quiet all of the first day. And the last time I was quiet all the first day, I got killed that night, and I didn't get to say anything. And so I wanted to make sure that I got that out there. It wasn't like someone had accused me of anything, and I was like, whoa, don't look at me, look at these people, because then I think that would be suspicious. Yep, that's what I think. I have no kind of idea about Lizette because she hasn't said much. She just asked a question to Flick, but other than that, she's been hard to read because she's new and so is Joe. But at the beginning of the day, Joe kind of gave his strategy.
Yeah, I'll say, I'm not saying I think that Jerry's a wolf or anything, but when it comes to questioning her defense, towards the end of her defense, she did talk about how the other Chris is a really strong player, but he was already dead by that point.
No,
So
no,
that
Chris
was
off.
something that felt a little weird to me.
Chris off.
The other Chris.
Chris ordered.
The other
German
other,
Chris.
the other.
German Chris.
I think
Sorry,
Joe's.
Joe.
Well, I don't know. I have a couple of like suspicions. I'm one of the few people that did vote down on Jerry. I mean, like you said, I haven't played with you guys, and I just thought the defense was bad. So I don't know if I didn't know she was known for that. So I just voted down based on what I heard for the first time from her.
I'm famous for my bad defenses.
I get that I'm quiet and that experienced players are probably watching out for that. But I mean, the best I could say is I'm tourist and I'm getting information and I'll present it when it's ready. I'll say that.
Ooh, no, don't do that.
Yeah, that's not the.
No,
You
no,
might
need
die
to-
tonight.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a bodyguard present, y'all.
Unless there is a
Yeah.
bodyguard, you will die tonight. But
I would like to say I had thumbs down to Jerry also, because I think when you're evil, you are looking to point the direction to somebody else. And maybe if she had said one or two, I would have said it was okay, but she pointed out three persons, and I think that's a little bit suspicious.
I mean, I'm on everybody's list at this minute, apparently. So, like, I don't really include me in the list of people who are being called out. I've
The
already
thing-
had.
No, but
Yeah.
The thing
But
that I
it's-
would
it's
say
just the
about
reason
Jerry's
that I find
defense
it
listening
to
to
think
it
about.
was I thought it was a pretty good defense. It was what it was to me was it was very much like going with the crowd sort of defense. So if the village turns out that, the places that we're going are wrong, that would make me want to go back to Jerry at some point. But so I don't think the village should forget that. She was very much pointing out her suspicions on people that, had already had some suspicion on them.
Braden and
And,
Ned haven't, though. They were
Chris
just
R.
I agree. They're quiet, and that is generally a bit suspicious. But so is being super vocal.
I'm
Graham
curious,
Adam.
Chris R. When do you
Did she
think
say
the
murder?
murder
Nomination
will come
soon.
out?
I can't even hear at this point.
Was
But
there a
it's just,
question?
the most of you have played together before, and
What
therefore
was
you're more
Graham's question?
vocal. I'm not. I haven't played with anybody. Is that? But therefore it's a little bit more used
It's
to be a
hard.
little
It's
bit
hard.
quiet. Yeah.
Graham and Adam had questions.
I was just asking Chris R. when she thinks it would be good for Karen to come out.
I think it's getting safer because we have a few people that claimed important roles. So I'm not sure if she would be the first target for the wolves, but I wouldn't say today, but maybe it's hard to say, but definitely not today, but maybe not too long. Yeah, but since we have a few people, I think it was not that great. It wasn't a good decision that Joe said what he said. But since more roles are out, it won't be easy for the wolves to keep up with those. But don't come out when you're Karen. Right
I guess,
now,
Joe,
it's too early.
Joe, if you were to die tonight, is there anything you would regret having not said today?
I love you. I don't know. I don't know if you're baiting me to say. I don't know. I
am, because we want information. We don't want you dead.
I have
At
an
this point-
idea. I have an idea of what I'm trying to do, and if I didn't think it through, I'll regret it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If you're a basic tourist, then this is awesome play. Good job.
Adam?
I have a question for Jesse. If we kill the Cupid Wolf, before their 2 targets die, are their targets still linked? Or if we kill Cupid, does that break their
The
link?
curse breaks. I did not put that into the rule set, but I actually had been thinking about that since the game started, and I'm going to officially say that if Cupid dies before one of their targets, then the curse breaks, and they're no longer linked.
That's cool.
Davey, who was the second person that you picked as Cupid Wolf?
Did you say me?
Yes.
Oh, Adam, I think you care more about the Cupid Wolf than anyone else. So you tell me, who would you pick?
No, I didn't pick anyone. I'm a tourist, but I feel as if you are pushing towards a player that no one else is really pushing for things that are obvious that they've done. So in my mind, that means that you put them on your list.
So then so I'm not a wolf, but then either don't nominate her, or
there wasn't a
if
her
she is
involved.
nominated and we kill her, then you know that that's not true.
There wasn't a her involved in my thoughts.
Oh,
I think he was
Flick is the one
thinking
that I was pushing
Christopher.
for the votes.
Was it Christopher, Adam, that you were thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't really think it's Christopher either.
Well, I mean, Davey and Christopher are friends, so.
I still would really love to hear from Braden.
Yeah.
Is that how it works? Is it?
I'm sorry to cut
can't.
people off. He's been.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if you guys were calling on me, if you did and someone else did, and I hadn't heard if it was actually me or not. I apologize. Are you talking, Flick?
Yeah, I said that was me. I said you were quiet, and then you went. Someone said so. Yeah, that was me.
Anyway, I mean, I thought I had been talking. I'm definitely more vocal than a few of the people here. So I don't know. What do you want to hear from me? I was a little bit suspicious of Joe. Yeah. But not really anymore. Alex, are you dead?
Yeah, I'm dead.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just observing. I think the animosity or like the butting of heads between Graham and Flick, I don't know if it's really butting heads, but I'm saying like how people are putting them against each other. I think that's dangerous because they could easily both be villagers. So that's in my head. I don't think one of them definitely has to be a werewolf.
I'm gonna start a 3-minute timer, and when it runs out, the day will
3
end.
more minutes? Wow. Thought you were gonna say like 3 seconds.
No, because I want to give you guys some time, but you guys are really taking advantage of it.
We're milking it for sure.
I do think that the most valuable thing that we've done with our time is to look over the rules document and ask moderator questions, because every time we do, he debuffs the werewolves. So if we have more things that we could do to help make these werewolves less powerful, then I think we should do that.
I'm trying, Alex. I'm trying, because they were really powerful to start the game.
Can the Karen complain and demand an extra life?
Ooh.
I'm not going
maybe.
to nominate, so somebody else has to do it.
Yeah, me neither.
Alex,
Although theoretically, me and Alex are cleared villagers, so.
And I'm not telling anybody who to nominate.
Alex is cleared.
I mean, I haven't been counterclaimed. I'd like to think that people believe me, at least.
I believe you. I just don't. You're not cleared.
I do believe you, Cody, but it's like the quack's not even guaranteed to be in the game. Do you know what I mean? Not all the roles.
I've also cured myself, so there's no curse possibility or poison. Just
That's worth checking. Moderator, can the quack cure themselves?
Yes.
But will they know they've been poisoned by the what poison's the egg? The
No one knows if they're poisoned.
The person
Yeah.
poisoned would not know.
Well, then how would he know if he cured himself from being poisoned?
because I used my potion on myself.
But you don't know if you were the one that were poisoned for those.
Well,
right?
I mean, you
Okay.
could
I don't
just
know
saying
that.
he used the
Okay,
cure
that's
potion.
I was just clearing that up. Okay.
One more
Yeah.
question for Jesse. Can
Okay.
attributes such as curse stack onto rolls?
Yes, and if you were cursed and you were turned, you would lose your ability if you had a nighttime ability. You have a minute left.
So the confused seer, if you believe Cody, you could use Cody as a test thing to
Well,
find
Alex
out.
is a
Or
confirmed
use Alex
villager.
because I trust
Yeah,
that he's
that's true.
cleared.
Alex,
Yeah.
as of right now, is a confirmed villager. Tomorrow he
Yes.
may not be because he could be cursed and turned. But
There's
as
also
of
party
right now,
hats,
he's a
but
villager.
let's not go into that.
Yeah, that's actually a good strategy. Check Alex tonight if you haven't already, and then maybe Cody. See if you trust him.
30 seconds.
Chris R., who do you want to nominate?
Oh, it's scary to nominate because of the.
I'll nominate Davey if you don't come up with a name.
15 seconds, 10 seconds.
I nominate Davey.
We have a nomination for Davey in a second. Adam, would you like to give your reasoning?
He's just highest on my suspicion list and nobody else is doing anything. So this day's already lasted 5 hours. So
I apologize for that.
Nope, it's not your fault at all.
Okay, Davey, if you would like to give your defense.
Yeah, so I've been very clear. I'm sure we're going to kill me tonight. We shouldn't, or today. I'm a plain Taurus. I don't have any powerful role. So if you kill me and you find that out, then here are my suspicions. I still think Flick. She's number one. That's pretty much the only one that I'm like, here's the one that I would go after. Alex is confirmed. I'm believing Cody. I'm starting to trust Graham, but that could be a mistake. And then even though Adam put me up, I think that Adam's good. And that's it. I don't know anything else about anybody. Christopher was on my list at the beginning, but he's not anymore. When I asked him if that's what he did as the Cupid Wolf, I was looking for his response. His response made me trust him. And so that's where I stand. You shouldn't kill me because we're looking for wolves or these people, these holiday people. And I'm not one of them. But if you do, then that's what I would go with.
Okay. Any quick questions for Davey? Okay, Adam.
Who do you think I should hide behind tonight?
So if you were the orphan, which I don't think that you are, I wouldn't hide behind. No, I'll tell you who I would hide behind is me if I don't die, otherwise Cody.
All right. I'm going to mute everybody. We are voting on Davey. This is the third nomination of the day. We will go to sleep regardless of the outcome. Vote up to save Davey. Vote down to kill Davey. Voting in 3, 2, 1. Vote. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of how many of there are you? 1, 2. 7. That is not enough. There's 16 of you, I believe. Is that correct? Yes. So Davey survives, and everyone go to sleep, please. Okay, that was a long day. Could I have my orphan wake up, please? Who would you like to hide behind today? Okay, thank you. Could I have my bodyguard wake up, please? Who would you like to protect today? Thank you. Can I have all my werewolves except for Santa Wolf wake up? Who would you like to target tonight? Do we agree? I need an agreement, guys. Or do we agree? Okay, thank you. I'm going with that one. Everyone, please go to sleep. Can I have my Krampus Wolf wake up, please? Would you like to use one of your things tonight? Okay, thank you. If you do, who would you like to pick? Okay, thank you. Can I have my Santa Wolf wake up? Who would you like on your naughty and nice list, please? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Can I have my Quack wake up, please? Would you like to use your kill or save potions tonight? If you would like to use your save potion or your cure potion, please let me know your one of your cure potions. Okay, and if so, can I see the name? Okay, thank you. And if you would like to use your kill potion, please let me know. Okay, thank you. Can I have my Karen wake up, please? Karen, what question would you like to ask tonight? Thank you. And last but not least, can I have my confused seer wake up? Who would you like to check tonight? Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, please go back to sleep. All right. Can I have everyone wake up except for Jerry has died. And then I'm going to pick a random number. It is number 16. Chris, you get to pick a number between 1 and 12, but not number 10 or what was the other one? Number 4.
3.
Okay, 3 is Christmas. Did you know that it's Christmas. It's Christmas.
You know, Christmas, guys. Come on, it's Christmas.
I can't Grinch this one.
No. So Christmas, you will all be getting gifts. So I will be messaging you gifts. And you guys can talk amongst yourself. Go ahead.
Wow, what a
Do you think
powerful
you're on the
holiday.
nice list today?
Hopefully I get a
Did
poison.
Santa Wolf wake up at all last night? I don't think I heard Santa Wolf wake up, right?
Oh,
Didn't know.
I think
no,
I thought it did.
I think
I
yes.
heard Krampus Wolf.
Santa
Yeah, I
Wolf,
heard
did you
all
wake
wolf
up
and
last night?
Krampus.
I thought it did, but I don't. Maybe I'm.
Jesse, can you help us out here?
I believe Santa Wolf woke up, and I believe the Krampus Wolf woke up.
Thank
I
you.
believe all the wolves that I've been calling, I called. Does everyone agree? I feel like that. I don't know.
I thought. Yeah, I thought so too.
I bet you
Well,
wish,
Do you believe like that the Santa Wolf woke up the same way a little kid believes in Santa? Is that?
So Flick, do you think you're on Santa's nice list again today?
I have no idea what list I'm on. I think maybe the werewolves are keeping me alive. I noticed Ned is smiling there.
I'm just smiling at the question.
Just saying, there was this little smile, and you are right above me, so you're right in my view. I have no idea. I do think it might be handy. I also see George smiling now, but I trust George because we're potato people for life. But I mean, I've already said who I think has been very vocal. You know?
I'm always vocal every single game.
See, I have this thing right now, right? Where like I could be completely wrong, but certain people sometimes are steering things. And sometimes when they're steering, they're a wolf. And like, you know what? I figured I'm just gonna have fun with this one. And yeah, you've been chatting. So like you're top of my list on that one. Ned smiled, that's enough for me. I don't know. That would go down as a question mark in this game.
Okay.
I don't like
Quiet,
this.
no emotion, I'm guilty. No, I show emotion, I'm guilty.
So
To be fair, I have played games with Ned, and he does do like weird facial tics when he's like bad. Like I remember one time we were accusing somebody who was bad, and you were, giving an eye roll, and I caught that.
I really like Ned.
I
this
roll my
game.
eyes all the time.
This is the first game Ned's ever said he trusted me.
Oh.
Can you say like
really? It's the first one.
Do you trust him back? Is that what you're saying, Graham?
I said
Well, I haven't decided. Yeah.
Joe, did you figure out your information yet?
Okay, well, you guys seem to know meta, so obviously, I guess I made a faux pas, like my strategy before. So what would you guys tell me I should do today? Based on how I acted before, and you said it was a bad move.
We have no idea what your information is.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the point where I should say information?
Is it valuable to the village?
What do you think, Joe? Did you think it's
Okay.
important? Do you think it warrants it or not?
Okay. I think I have enough information. So I'll come out as orphan. So Adam claimed it before, and he's lying about that. I stayed with 2 different people, and I didn't die either night. So they could either be baby wolf, or I have 2 potential villagers. We know Alex is confirmed. So, and I do believe Cody. So as it stands, I would know 5 villagers, including myself. And Adam lied about orphan. So that's what I know.
I think
would
you
be
should
good
just tell.
information.
Yeah, I think you should just tell us who those.
Really quick, before we go on any further, I have Santa, I have given 4, well, not Santa, but it's Christmas. 4 of you have received gifts. The rest of you all get coal. So if you did not receive a gift, you get coal. If you did receive a gift, you are one of the lucky 4.
Can I hook my coal at a wolf?
Joe, a couple of
Real
pointers.
quickly, is it clean coal?
No.
I would say you don't necessarily need to clear them, but if you do die, it'd be great if you. So don't do it right away. It'd be good for you just to see how people act today, knowing that some people are cleared and where suspicions go. But preferably before we go into the night, it'd be great if you can share that. And what some people do, what I like to do if I'm in an orphan position, is do not say who you're gonna stay behind, but maybe like hint at it in some way or narrow it down to a few people. So if you do end up dead, we at least have targets to base that on if you hide behind a wolf.
3 is a good number for names that you're throwing out there because it's broad enough that the wolves can't possibly target all of them, but it's small enough that the village has an idea of 3 people you might hide behind.
Well, we also
That's
have to
my
keep
person.
in mind that there's a wolf that can just kill Joe now. So
Well, which wolf could kill me?
Krampus Wolf, if they
Krampus.
name you tonight, you're dead.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to get them to waste their picks on me.
Yeah, and I figured that, Adam. I figured that's what you were doing. I thought you was kind of like protecting the orphan.
I was trying to. Hopefully they used both of their picks.
That's true.
Although
you
I
the
did think
Krampus
it was
wolf,
odd
Eddie?
that Davey specifically said he didn't believe I was the orphan, so I think that was kind of a hint that maybe for if Krampus Wolf not to check me. I just thought it was odd that he specifically mentioned that. I could be completely wrong on that, Davey. I voted up for you because
no, I
I did
appreciate
not
it.
trust my reads. But I
But
just
you're-
thought it was odd that you specifically said, I don't think you're the orphan, knowing that there's a role in the game that could kill the orphan with only
Well, I didn't think about that role. But earlier I asked how many roles you were going to claim. So my follow-up question would have to be, how many roles are you going to claim I am?
No, I'm not saying that I think you're the Krampus wolf. I think you were trying to hint to the Krampus wolf, don't waste a pick on Adam, because
Oh,
he's
okay.
not actually the orphan.
Oh, that makes more sense. Then I take back my question.
I trust Adam.
Yeah, I trust Adam.
I said I trusted Adam. I just said I didn't think that he was.
Yeah, I trust Adam.
Chris, I want to hear more from you. What are your thoughts?
I trust Adam as well. I'm not sure how solid this is, but I'm also a little suspicious of Flick because she was really defensive, and I'm not sure if this is normal behavior for her or not. But not knowing her that well, it struck me as odd a little bit. I do believe Graham. I'm not sure on George. He fooled me so many times. I don't have any reads on him, but I can never be sure with George.
Sorry, I'm just noting people who seem to put my name down a lot. So thanks, you're on the list. I'm now pretty confident. Pretty confident. I think I might be right.
So Flip, why don't you nominate some of these people instead of just like saying their names?
Well, let's say I think Ned's on my list. Chris is now on my list. Eddie's on my list. Granted, Ned's on my list for that smile, but that's enough for me right now because I've done smiles before as a nominating reason. Eddie's chatting a lot, and Chris is going along with this whole flick, flick, flick thing. I don't like it. I think there's people gunning for me, and I think they're werewolves.
So my question was, why don't you nominate them? Sorry, Ned.
I think we should have a conversation about it, and I also think potentially if I drop dead, that's where the village should go and have a look.
Ed,
Would you say it's a little hypocritical when you were complaining about the fact that you were getting tired because you're eating and how insignificant that was? And now you're saying something about me.
Yeah,
I made a quick smile, and the reason I smiled was because Graham made a good point about the Santa Wolf and saying something about you being on the list. I was like, that's really interesting, and that's where the smile came from. And then you jumped on that. So on insignificant details, it's really, really interesting that you would do that when you were complaining about it before.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
talked to Josh before based off a smile because I really like watching out for things
That's
like
Josh.
that. I
That's
also think if we're going for hypocritical and sort of like not very great reasons,
And I voted up for you
and you
both
know
times
what?
too.
I think I'm right.
I voted up for you.
All right,
I guess
Joe.
At the end of the game, at the
I
end
think
of
I'm gonna go
we'll
down
find
now.
out. We'll find
Joe,
out.
go ahead.
If I'm right,
I have a question for the moderator.
Joe.
Are the gifts unique or are there multiple of the same?
There are 4 unique gifts. I will tell you that.
Okay.
And anyone willing to share the gift?
I got an ice cream sandwich, meaning I won't die tonight.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to claim gifts?
Cole.
Yeah, I got Cole.
I don't get anything.
Also.
Why would you share that, Graham? Just why it wouldn't be useful if you're on the good team to try and draw if you can't.
If I was telling the truth, it would
Don't you
have been.
think he just made that up?
Ice cream. I don't know. Ice cream sandwich kind of sounded a little too specific to be made up.
Well,
No, it's a bacon sandwich.
I trust that Graham
Oh,
is,
bacon sandwich.
well,
But I made it
I trust
Christmas
that
themed. Come
I
on,
trust that
Brayden. I
Graham's a
put
good
thought
player.
into it.
I think he could be working on levels here. You know,
Okay,
you
I'll-
thought that you thought that
I
you
know
thought-
Graham to lie about having things that he doesn't have, such as roles. I mean,
He would never.
so
So
I
is
really
the-
think
is the gift
I
just for
know.
this day. Oh, because it's Christmas, right? Yeah. I guess I'll say mine. Mine doesn't really matter. I can't be nominated. That's what my gift is.
I nominate Joe. Huh?
Tries to nominate. Graham has nominated Joe and George seconds, but nothing happens.
Does that count as one of our 3 nominations, Jesse?
No, absolutely
He
not.
can't be nominated, so it
He
didn't
can't be
happen.
nominated. Surely
he
not.
wasn't nominated.
Get out of
I
here.
will say no.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't think that one through, but I will say no. I will be nice. It's Christmas. Do we have another question?
Yeah, the gifts they're good the rest of the game, right?
Could be.
Not unless
all of
there's a
them.
specific day
Or not.
otherwise stated. Yes, it's good until the end of the game unless otherwise stated.
And could werewolves have gotten gifts?
Yep, anybody could get a gift.
How did you decide who was good and who was bad? Because I didn't get a gift and I'm very offended.
So there's 2 gifts that nobody wants to claim.
I think that's fine if they don't want to come out with their gifts.
I'm just trying to guess what it would be that they wouldn't want to share.
Well, we will find
It's
out.
just
at the
for
end of the
one
game.
day.
Most moderators do a rundown if they don't get used, but I know it kind of eats away and you get curious, but I wouldn't mind focusing on some werewolves.
I was gonna say I really do think we should kill today. We haven't killed yet. We have not gotten a chance to kill a werewolf yet. And villagers are dying every night unless unless Victoria was a werewolf, which we just don't know.
Yeah.
So
Cody, did you cure someone else?
I did. I believed Joe, so I cured him. I believed him as being good and that he'd have good information for us.
Okay.
I didn't want to risk of the poison taking him in the night if he was chosen by the Easter Bunny, and I didn't want the risk of a curse turning him before he was able to give his information. So that's kind of where I was at. I didn't know anybody else. There's been a lot of back and forth, and he just seemed like a clean choice.
Joe, you didn't actually tell us the 2 names of the people you hid behind, right?
No, I did not.
To be honest, I'm a little bit at a loss about who I trust and who I don't trust. I mean, like, there's certain people that are maybe. I trust Alex and Cody at the moment, and Joe. But besides that, the rest of you, nah, it could go in any order. Joe, if you could knock 2 of those names off my sus list, I would appreciate it.
Anybody except 2. So the only people you trust is me, Alex,
and Cody, and myself,
and yourself. Okay, I don't know. Do
You
I
wrote
say
claim
it?
yourself there, Josh? Are you?
I think the names would help. I think it would help.
either way, Joe, it's up to you.
The thing is, right?
Just
I don't think he hid behind Eddie, if that's any consolation. or
Okay, I
anything.
mean, I could have also hid behind a baby wolf. That's always the possibility.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. So of the 2 people, there is that percentage chance. I'll do this. I'll clear Josh. I hid behind Josh. He could be a baby wolf, or he could be a villager.
Okay.
Not a baby wolf. So
Where's the second person?
That doesn't help Josh at all because he already knew himself.
Yeah, but I want to. I'm clearing it to people who know their villagers, so they don't suss them later.
But was there not 2 though?
Yeah, there's someone else.
Yeah, because because the thing is, technically there could be a curse, right, and all that, but that leaves a question mark.
So Flick, you agree with Eddie, and Flick
Oh, I
wants
don't
somebody
agree
to
with
come
Eddie on
out with
anything. I
information.
think Eddie's probably looking this to maybe make someone cursed. I don't trust Eddie as far as I could throw him. No offense, maybe in real life, but in this game, sorry.
Slick, I actually don't think you're a wolf at all. Like, I think the way you're playing, like, I actually do. I've got you down on my good list. But yeah, you're right. I do.
For the record,
Nice
Flick,
list.
For the record, Flick, I don't think you can throw him very far anyway. So
But it doesn't remove you from mine.
That's fine. That is totally fine.
I'm
But
willing to
I thought-
nominate Ned.
I'll second.
All right, Ned has been nominated and seconded. I'm going to mute everybody. Adam, if you would like to give your reasoning, and then Ned, if you would like to give a defense. I will pause the timer. There is 8 minutes left.
I think Ned is a safe person who wouldn't have been picked by Cupid. But if, say, Flick put Ned on her naughty list and he dies, then we may have a better understanding of Flick's intentions, although I don't necessarily believe that's the case. But I think it'll give us some answers one way or the other if we vote on Ned.
All right, Ned, you can give your defense.
Actually, I think Adam's reasoning is actually pretty sound, because as soon as that happens, then we'll definitely have a better idea of who sent out wolf might be based on who they probably kept putting on their naughty list. So that's true. As far as anything else, maybe I should have a mask. I'll not respond in any particular way, so you won't know exactly my emotions and how I feel. Because apparently, by doing that, you make yourself a target. Therefore, why don't we all just wear masks from now on, and therefore everything will be even. How about that? Okay, that's all. Bye.
COVID friendly.
Any questions you'd like to take? Feel free to field them.
Davey.
If you are on the naughty list or the village decides to kill you, do you think that Joe should give his other cleared villager and a few people he's going to hide behind?
I think Joe should, simply because he came out with saying he had information yesterday. Therefore, he was a good chance to be a target last night and good chance to be the one that the bodyguard saved. Therefore, the bodyguard probably can't save him tonight. So I think it's real risky not to provide the information now, because I think he might die with it otherwise. Joe.
Okay. So we're gonna, if we're gonna go for the play that you might be on the naughty list, we'll see how the vote goes if you die.
Right.
And I guess you have sound reasoning. I probably did get targeted by the bodyguard if there is one. So I'll name Davey as the other person that I hid behind.
Good. All right. Flick. Oh, is that it?
Yeah, no, I want to know who's on your sus list. Also, I also look for eyebrows and stuff like that because, you know, it's an entire face thing. So, you know, that's not going to work.
Well, don't be Anna, please, because Anna would do that all the time, saying, "Oh, you're touching your face. Oh, you're doing this." I have studied body language. I've studied facial expression, and she was wrong all the time.
I don't study. I just watch a lot of YouTube videos, and some things, depending on the person, meh, it could go either way.
But it's Ned's defense, though.
Yeah,
I know. It's my defense. It's okay.
but
Whatever.
there was a wee smile, and sometimes
Well.
things come out when we don't mean them to. Because, like, I'm a terrible werewolf. It comes out all the time. So.
Well, see, I'm not, and if I were a werewolf, that would not be a tell. There. Okay. There you go.
I guess we'll find out.
Maybe for the last question.
Yeah. Davey.
Oh, well, my question was going to be, should Joe give us 3 names? But if I'm
I'll go.
No, I mean, are you?
Please form it.
If he does, can he make it into a question this time?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm gonna. I have to say.
Do you think I should hide behind?
Okay, I'm out of the 3 people. Is this a good list of 3 people to pick one from? Flick, George, and Chris. That's my question.
Okay. Any more questions? Oh, that's it. That's enough questions. We're voting on Ned. Vote up to save Ned. Vote down to kill Ned. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. That is not enough. The day continues. You have 8 minutes left.
On the list, I guess.
Lizette, why are you so suspicious of Christopher?
Oh, is in me?
Why should I be suspicious about Christopher?
He just wants you to talk.
Okay, I'm not suspicious. I don't believe in trusting anybody. I don't know who's evil. I have a thing about Flick, but it's only because she smiled when Jerry was nominated, and I told you. So actually, I think that's the only one.
I think there's a big block of people in the middle of my screen that I'm not trusting. I think the edges are getting much more clear.
I feel like at this point we have numbers 1 through 6, according to Joe, cleared. Which means if we kill the other numbers every day, we have like trading one of those guys each night with the wolves, we'll get down pretty quickly without, well, we should be hitting wolves if we're killing every day. So.
Are you in that
logic?
role, George? Referee in the 14. What's your name?
Oh, Graham.
To me.
Graham, are you one of
Graham.
those that we should kill, or
no?
No, okay, so I don't think
started
I'm
to
the,
trust
one of
Graham.
those either.
Yeah, me neither. Should we just all clear ourselves and then we can all go home?
I trust Joe, me, Josh, Cody, Davey, Adam, Graham. Starting to trust Flick more. I don't know
I
about
haven't put her
Evan.
on my sus list right at the moment.
I think I'm most suspicious of Chris at this point.
Reason?
Yeah, it's kind of what Flick was saying, just kind of repeating her name.
Oh,
I know
no.
that I was kind of suspicious of her, and a lot of people were suspicious of her, but you haven't really said anything except Flick's name.
I was suspicious of her when she started being defensive, but I'm not. I sometimes wait a few days to really point it out because I don't like suspecting people without much to go by. I rather wait a little bit to not throw shade on someone and then they are innocent. I don't like that. So usually I wait a little bit. But she kept being defensive every day, and it just hardened my suspicion. So at that point, I thought I would come out with that.
I mean,
But
if you're attacked by werewolves, you would.
I don't. As I said, I don't know her really well in games.
Do you
I
have
haven't.
any other suspicions or information you want to give to the village?
I'm still not sure what I feel about George. I may be biased from the games we played further. I'm not sure, but I'm a little suspicious of George, but not extremely suspicious. As I said, I don't know how Flick plays, so her being defensive every single day, I'm not sure if that's how she plays when she's a villager. Yeah, I don't really read on anybody else.
Sorry, where is George coming from? Like, why? I really need to know.
It's just, I don't know. It's just the gut thing.
Okay,
and it's not a big suspicion, just a little suspicion. It's the same thing, the same gut feeling that tells him that Graham is innocent, and that, yeah. Sometimes I have gut feelings, and they are not always right, but sometimes they're all I have.
George is my potato ball for
Absolutely.
life.
Please don't call me that. I'm not. If I could, I would shuffle away from Flick right now if I could physically do that.
I had way too much sugar before this.
We can tell. Yeah, it's a good time.
Interesting, Braden. I was just looking at you, thinking you've been really quiet recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly getting a little bit annoyed, truthfully. So I just thought I'd just stop talking. I think we should just get on with the third nomination.
Yeah, these days are dragging on, man.
Are you volunteering,
insane.
Braden?
No, I don't want to die. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Braden, if you had a gun, who would you shoot?
Christopher right now is who I'm looking at. That's who I've been.
I'll nominate Chris.
Chris R.
Do I have a second? Okay, Flick has seconded. This is the third nomination, correct?
I think so.
So who are we actually nominating? Was it Chris or was it Christopher?
I'm assuming Chris R, Alex, right? Because Christopher's what we would call Christopher. I'm gonna mute everybody. Alex, you can give your reason, and Chris, you could give a defense.
Yeah, I mean, so it was basically what I said before. She's been kind of quiet, more quiet than usual, and then adding in the whole thing of Flick, just kind of pushing for that. I know I was suspicious of her, and some other people were suspicious of her, but we had other things that we went and talked about, and then kind of throwing in George there when I don't think anybody's talked about George, and she didn't really give a good reason as to why she suspects George other than gut. And I know I'm probably not the person who should be making that criticism, considering that I do that, but it's just, I don't think that's something that Chris does. So
Okay, and Chris, if you could do a defense. And then we'll do up to 3 questions just to get the game moving a little quicker.
I don't think I'm quieter than usually, actually. Like, I think I'm a little bit more vocal in games that are a little bit smaller, but in big games, I think I'm usually really quiet. And it's also not sure that I never go by gut. Like, there are several games where I said, oh, I especially with Josh and Graham, where I say, oh, my gut tells me they are bad, they are good. Like, I think I do that. I do that. So, and especially with Josh, I think I also did it with Josh in earlier games that I said, yeah, I think I have a feeling on him. It's just that I played a few games with him. I didn't play with many people here, so I don't have really reads on them. So Josh is one where my gut feeling just activates, and when people ask me of my suspicions or point out that people haven't talked much, and I think, okay, maybe I should say it, maybe there is something to it, maybe not. Flick, as I said, I was suspicious since she started being super defensive, but I didn't want to point it out immediately because I don't like. I'm usually very cautious with throwing out suspicions early, and I don't know how she plays, but not knowing her, that this is a little strange. Yes, Alex?
So with your suspicion on Flick, would you say that if we killed you and you turned out to be a tourist, that it would be a good thing for the village to then turn our attention to Flick, perhaps?
Not necessarily. I mean, I admit it's just my gut feeling and that I don't know how she usually plays. So I guess you guys are better at judging if she is suspicious or not. Like, don't take my word for it. I'm not super sure that she's just suspicious. She's just top on my maybe suspicious list. I don't have a top tier suspicious list because it's hard to read in this game.
Any more questions? We have 2 more questions. Go ahead, Joe.
Joe.
Okay, Chris, if you die tonight, you're one of the 3 people I named. Who do you think I should hide behind if you die? Who should replace you in my list? Because I had Flick, George, and you. If you get voted out, who should be the 3rd person?
Between George and Flick, you mean?
No, somebody that's not George or Flick that should replace you in my list of who to hide behind.
I would say Graham.
And one more question if there's one, and if not, we'll go to voting. Okay, everyone, please. I'm going to mute everybody. And we're voting up to save Chris and down to kill Chris. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That looks like everyone but 2 down. So Chris is dead. And Chris was a werewolf. Everyone go to sleep, please. Thank you for playing. All right. Let me do this real quick. All right. Can I have my orphan wake up? Can my orphan wake up? Who would you like to hide behind tonight? Okay, thank you. Can I have my bodyguard wake up? Bodyguard, who would you like to protect tonight? Okay, thank you. Please go back to sleep. Can I have my werewolves wake up? Besides Santa Wolf, not Santa Wolf, werewolves besides Santa Wolf. Who would you like to pick tonight? Okay, thank you. Could I have my Krampus Wolf? Would you please wake up? Would you like to use one of your things tonight? And if so, who would you like to pick? Okay, thank you. Can I have my Santa Wolf wake up, please? Santa Wolf. If you would like to people on your naughty and nice list, can I please have those names? Thank you. And okay, thank you. Can I have my quack wake up? If you would like to use your cure potion, please let me know. Okay, thank you. And if you would like to use your kill potion, please let me know. Okay, thank you very much. Can I have Karen wake up, please? Karen, what question would you like to ask me tonight? Thank you. Please go to sleep. And finally, can I have my confused seer wake up? Who would you like to check tonight? All right, if you could please go back to sleep. Now it's time to wake up, and everyone except for Joe, you have been killed, and Josh, you have been killed. Please go to sleep. If I'm going to pick a random number for the holiday.
Jesse, did you mean to say go to sleep?
No.
Okay.
I meant goodbye, dead people. I'm going to pick a random number. Number 9, Braden, you get to pick a number between 1 and 12, not 10, 3, or 4.
7.
7, it's President's Day. Okay, everybody, I'm going to need everyone to get a piece of paper or their phone or something to write on, and everyone's going to elect a president. Pick someone that you want to be the president.
Oh boy. That's in our group, right?
Sorry, what?
I just mean someone here, right?
Yeah, not.
Are we able to campaign?
No, and you're not allowed to talk either. I'm muting you all. When everyone's ready, give me a thumbs up. Everyone ready? Okay, if I could see the names, please. Okay, I see a lot of Alexes. I see all Alexes and 1 Graham. So Alex is the president and Graham is the vice president. The day is yours.
The only time I'll be elected to anything in my life.
Give you guys a 10-minute timer. And starting now. And well, now I'll pause it for a second. One more quick housekeeping thing. Alex cannot be nominated and he breaks all ties. So if there's a tie, Alex will decide one way or the other, and he cannot be nominated.
And the vice president's useless?
For now, yeah.
Honorary title.
Do you think, did Joe die either Krampus or either he was behind the wolf?
I think
There's
it
the
had
vice
to be
president right there.
Krampus.
Isn't there one if he dies behind, or if he hides behind someone who is targeted, then they both die? Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't think Josh was on his list though. He gave
Josh
3 people.
wasn't on his list.
Yeah, but
no.
the person who put out names there was a werewolf. So
It was.
And she
yeah.
named Graham.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything. But
My guess would be that Joe hid behind George and died as a result.
I reckon it's Krampus.
Okay.
could be
Yeah,
both.
there is Krampus. That's true.
How many wolves do we have?
We've only killed
well, I
one.
suspect Victoria was one, so hopefully she was, and that we've gotten 2. Game this big, it's starting at 18, I believe. Maybe 4 to 5 wolves. Does that sound accurate? I don't have Josh here to kind of do the math for us like you normally do.
I mean, I would have said 4 and maybe a first or something like that.
Are you including Santa Wolf in that as well?
Not necessarily.
It's really interesting, the dynamic of Santa Wolf. 'Cause, like, hypothetically, let's say Chris was Santa Wolf. Maybe she was going after George, not realizing that he was a wolf. Because I was thinking, like, oh, it's weird that she was mentioning George. Would she do that as a bluff play, throw one under the bus? But like, it's entirely possible one could be a Santa Wolf and they wouldn't even know that they're on the same team.
Yeah.
So something to keep in mind with night kills, it could be a poison now, because we're past like day 2, so it's possible like Josh was poisoned and the wolves just killed Joe or something like that. Well, I guess if he
It couldn't target him.
Killed him. Yeah, that's true. Or the Krampus. So like Josh could have been poisoned, Krampus killed Joe, and then the bodyguard protected or someone turned or something. I don't know.
Do you think we still have Karen and the Seer alive?
I feel like if we did, it'd be a great time to come out.
It would be pretty fantastic, considering we have a kind of clear list.
Well, it's smaller, 2 people smaller than it was yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, I've already said who I think it is, but you know, I'm leaving it up to the village on this one because, you know, let chaos reign.
So if you want Eddie and Ned dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think they're high on my sauce. And here's the thing: if I'm wrong, go ahead and kill me.
I'm pausing the timer.
I can say that from the start. If you want to, fine.
You're not on my sus list. My biggest sus is probably Christopher at the moment. I was suspicious of Chris R as well. I was suspicious of Davey until Joe kind of cleared him. He could still be the baby new wolf, but I'm kind of obviously going to trust that he's not that. But yeah, so it's Christopher at the moment because Chris R is dead now.
Are you deflecting right now?
I'm not deflecting. I'm just telling my suspicions, like you have, basically.
No, I mentioned your name, and suddenly you're like, "Oh, look over there! It's a bird! It's Superman! It's over there!"
You're supposed to call out your suspicions like you have been all game, which is what I'm doing.
I don't know. I've just seen werewolves do that before, where if they're called out, they redirect.
So,
then you're a werewolf flick because you've done this that entire
yeah. Is it only you that's allowed to call
keep
suspicions?
calling out people for things you're doing as well, which
Yeah.
is fine because you've been right so far, but you do keep calling out people for things you've been doing as well. And when
I
someone
started the game by saying eating was a crime, so like I figured chaos is running this game, so I don't mind. Like a smile, whatever. I called Josh out on a smile before in previous games.
Right.
It's you know what? It's enough for me because Chris went, look at Flick. That's enough for me. I don't need a lot in this game because apparently eating is a crime. But you know what?
Like, I would honestly, if you could please limit your information to finding werewolves. Like, I feel like we ramble on and we're not actually limiting ourselves to finding werewolves.
I find them, and I think the village is not.
Christopher, why do you think people keep saying you're suspicious?
Because I'm one of the few that Joe didn't semi-clear. The first round, I did tell you guys you can kill me because I don't have anything special to offer to the village. I don't have any special abilities, so I'd rather die than the seer die or the bodyguard die or the orphan die. I offered myself up the first round because I am confident. I know that I have nothing to offer, so I'd rather die over someone strong.
What can you offer us now that we didn't kill you in that round? Like, we can go back if we want, but what do you think right now?
What would I be able to offer without any abilities? I have a
Some
gift.
suspicions.
Going to be beneficial. The only suspicion I've had, and I didn't want to jump on the train, but Flick did say I'm comfortable because I'm a villager, and I have been a tourist since the beginning, and I haven't been comfortable the whole game. That's the only thing. But she was right about Chris, which makes me believe her now. Up until that point, I was that was weird for me to hear that she was.
I know. Give me a sec.
Cool.
But we don't, or Seer, Seer or Karen, if we have one, they don't want to come out.
I feel like it'd be a good time if we do have those to come out because we need information. I feel like we have.
And it would clear someone else too, and we're starting to get low. And
I'm disappointed for Jesse. I feel like Karen is a really cool role that probably died early.
Yeah, I
So
think maybe Chris A did have a good role potentially.
So night 1, I checked Christopher and I got a pen. Night 2, I checked Braden and I got a teddy bear. Night 3, I checked Graham and also got that teddy bear. I'm just kidding. This is stupid.
I was like, okay. How is he multiple roles?
Adam, what are
5
your
minutes.
thoughts?
I trust Flick, and I trust her reads.
Me too.
But
Would you
I
rather
nominate Eddie.
kill Eddie or Ned?
I nominate Eddie.
All right, we have a nomination for Eddie. Did anyone second? I see Flick.
Flick is seconding, yeah.
Eddie, would you, or I'm going to mute everybody. And sorry, Cody, if you could give your defense or your reasoning, and then Eddie, if you could give your defense.
Last time I nominated someone, I've got a defense now. No, I've been suspicious of Eddie. I've been watching Flick since early on. My suspicion of her is not completely gone, but I am trusting her reads because she got Chris, and I'm trusting Flick's reads at this point, and I've been a little sus with Eddie.
Okay, Eddie, if you want to give your defense.
My defense is the reason why Flick thinks that I'm suspicious is because that I'm vocal and I'm trying to direct the village. That's what she said right at the beginning. But anyone who's played with me knows that I'm a very vocal player, and I do try and direct the village because I want us to kind of like win. So that's something that I do literally every single game. I don't think Flick is a werewolf. She, especially now that she kind of like did correctly call out Chris R. So I've got no issue. I think she's been very aggressive with how she's playing, but you know, she's got one right, and I don't think she's a werewolf. My biggest suspicions is Christopher, but when I asked Christopher why he nominated someone down, and I'm trying to catch him out a little bit when I've asked him a couple of questions of previous days, but he's actually always come back with solid responses, to be fair, but he still is at that top of the list. It was Chris R at the top of the list, but now it's Christopher. George, I've never played with George before. He's kind of like, I'm not suspicious of him, but it's just, I know he's playing really aloof and kind of like relaxed, but I don't know if that's the normal way he plays. And he's not really adding anything to the conversation other than, you know, a bit of fun and a bit of banter, which is fair enough. But he's not, and he's also not been cleared. So I'd maybe put George slightly on the list as well. And that's my defense.
Okay, if anyone has any questions, you can 3 questions, please. 3 questions.
Cody?
Cody, did you ask a question? Oh, anyone else have a question? No questions? Oh,
I did.
Of the president scrolling behind Jesse, who's your favorite? And who did you have no idea was the president of the United States?
Well, say that again.
I said of the names and pictures scrolling behind Jesse of the presidents of the United States, who's been your favorite and who did you not know was ever a president of the United States? Like, are you familiar with Millard Fillmore and James K. Polk? Or
I've literally not been looking, to be honest, okay. But sometimes I get to know random presidents. Like, have you heard of The Chase? It's a British TV quiz show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, there's always random questions about American presidents on it, and so I always pick up on like obscure ones off the back of that. Really.
All right. That's all I need to know about Eddie. He's.
All right. I'm going to mute everybody. Oh, unless someone had another question. No. Okay. Vote up to save Eddie. Vote down to kill Eddie. Voting in 3, 2, 1. Vote. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. But that is not enough. The day continues. And you have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
I suppose this is as good a time as any for me to come forward because, yes, I've been playing quite aloof this game because I am... Well, actually, I want to speak to your damn manager because I'm the Karen. In the order of knights. I got to pick the option of questions. Night 1, I asked how many wolves there are at the start of the game. 5 wolves we started with. Second night, I asked who was on the naughty list, I believe, and that was Cody at the time. But obviously, that doesn't really mean anything if the Santa wolf, it doesn't really clear Cody because they don't know who the wolves are. Third night, I asked what. There's a question where I could ask a role in the game and see, and Jesse would tell me who that role was. So I know I looked at the bodyguard, and I won't tell you who it is, but I can say they're still in the game. And then last night I asked who was poisoned, and I got Josh. So I presume that's why he died.
Cool.
Okay, well, with knowing that Josh was poisoned, I know we gotta do something quick, but that could mean that someone turned. Because if we're thinking that the Krampus killed Josh, then the wolves didn't kill anyone, right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I'm
They
just
could have
saying
also targeted Josh because he was a clear
Right.
killer. But
yeah, that's an option.
It could have been a
great
bodyguard.
if they killed our poison.
So do we suspect that maybe it is possible that Joe did hide behind George and the Krampus wolf just no?
How does the
Yeah, because the wolves could have still
I
targeted.
think the Krampus just works no matter who it is or where they're hiding or anything. Yeah.
Do you think that
Die regardless of where they are.
Yeah, Josh still could have been targeted by the wolves, especially if they didn't have the Easter Bunny wolf to guide them away
Yeah,
from
just because
him
it was
at that point.
poisoned doesn't mean he had to go off then. He could have been poisoned and it wasn't due to go off last night, or it could have just been targeted. But you never know.
Or a successful protect, or they hit their Santa Claus. There's so many possibilities.
Jesse, how are we doing for time?
Jesse?
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Folks
Yes,
who
I
didn't
feel
want to
like-
kill Eddie, who do you want to kill so we can reach?
I just wanted there to be more time to talk. And
That's
we
fair.
got our Karen to come out. I'm looking at Lizette. I'm looking at Nat. I'm looking at Braden, Eddie, all those people.
So we started with 5 and we've killed a maximum of 2, right?
Yeah. Assuming Victoria was one.
Unless Santa Claus wolf was poisoned.
I think we have a really strong chance of
About
killing
30
another wolf here.
seconds.
That isn't back yet. Doesn't look like.
I could pause until Ned gets back. We have 22 seconds, and you
That'd
guys.
be cool.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
I'm gonna let
Look,
it
he's eating.
now, and I'm gonna restart the clock.
All the way.
It's so long for way too long. I mean, it's
20
all in 4
I'll
hours.
nominate
you're already
Lizette
at
to stop
10.
the clock.
Okay, I had a nomination for Lizette. Is that correct? Did anyone second?
Second.
Cody has seconded. Alex, if you want to give your defense, and then Alex, if you want to say your
My-
reason, and then Lizette, if you want to give your defense.
Yeah, my defense is I'm the president. I'm the party pooper. Everybody knows that I'm confirmed. No, I think between all the people that I named, that's a very strong cadre of people that are potential high wolf targets, or not targets, but potential wolf people. I generally trust Flick's reads, but I don't want to go off the meta of, oh, Flick always picks the right person here. So I'm trying to hear what other people have to say. I believe George, Flick, Graham, Cody, Davey, Adam would be the lowest person on my clear dish list, and George as well. But everybody else there I'll probably vote down for unless they give a rousing defense.
I don't quite have a defense. I'm a tourist. So if you kill me, there's just one less good person, but it won't matter. So it's up to you guys.
Maximum of 3 questions for Lizette. Okay, no questions.
Lizette, do you have any suspicions?
You're muted. Sorry.
Thank you. The only one I have anything on, and I'm not sure that it's right, is Flick, because she smiled when Jerry, I think that's her name, was picked. But I don't know any of you. I don't know how you play or what your sign is and your faces. I can say normally I'm quite outgoing, but because I don't know you, that's how I play today. So I'm not sure Flick is evil, so it's not Adam.
If we kill you, have you enjoyed your time enough in the game that you'll come back and play more with us?
Yeah, of course.
Graham, last question.
Do you think we should risk the Father Time Wolf ending the day?
I don't think there is a Father Wolf thing. I don't know why, but I don't think so.
Okay, it's time to vote. I'm going to mute everybody. This is the second vote of the day. We do have 13 seconds left. Vote up to kill, vote up to save Lizette, vote down to kill Lizette. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 9 down. That is enough. Lizette is dead. And Lizette was on the wolf team. Thank you, Lizette. Please turn off your camera and then everybody can go to sleep. Okay. Could I have my orphan wake up, please? Who would you like to hide behind tonight? Thank you very much. Could I have my bodyguard wake up, please? And who would you like to protect tonight? You cannot protect the same person on back-to-back nights. Okay. Can I have my werewolves except for Santa Wolf wake up, please? Who would you like to target tonight? Agreement, please. Okay, thank you. Could I have my Krampus Wolf wake up? Would you like to use one of your chances to kill the orphan tonight? If so, please let me know and who that would be. Thank you. Could I have my Santa Wolf wake up? And could I please have the names of the naughty and nice if you would like to use your power tonight? Okay, thank you. And thank you. Please go to sleep. Can I have my quack wake up? If you would like to use your cure potion, please let me know. And thank you. And if so, on whom? And if you would like to use your kill potion, please let me know. Thank you. And if so, on whom? All right, can I have my Karen wake up? Karen, what question would you like to ask? Thank you, Karen. Please go to sleep. And last but not least, can I have my confused seer wake up? Confused seer, who would you like to check tonight? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now everyone can wake up except for George. George, you have been killed. And I'm gonna pick a random number for the day. It's number 4, no. Number 6, Davey, you get to pick a random number between 1 and 12, which has not been picked yet, which is—
I'll do 1.
What, number 1? It is Halloween. Check. Okay, it is Halloween. The day is yours. I will be starting a 10-minute timer shortly. And I'm going to—
I hadn't paid attention. I really thought that the numbers were months of the year and that each holiday would be from a different month. But
Well, Christmas was 3. That's when I kind of got tipped off.
I wasn't paying attention.
Kind of had thought we were going to go for a third nomination, the last one.
There was 13 seconds left, and they were a wolf. So
No, I just felt that, you know, Lizette is new, and there's 2 other people I think are wolves. And
I figured.
But Lizette wasn't going to be on the nice list.
I figured it would be hard for the
That's what I
village to
was
nominate
thinking,
her,
too.
and I was thinking that she was a wolf, so I wanted to nominate her.
Oh no, but like my logic on it was, I think there's 2 very definitive wolves. She's still new. Would have been nice to give her another round. I thought we had a third nomination potentially if we were quick.
But Flick, going for the wolves that seem like obvious targets, that's exactly who Santa is going to protect.
Yeah, I'm still.
So
going.
Alex, you've hit 2 straight. Who's next on your list?
Like I said, I'm just kind of looking at that huge block there and, you know, chipping them off one by one. I mean, I think we have a pretty strong, you know, list of fairly confirmed villagers, although with, you know, possible turnings happening, we don't know for sure if everybody that we trust now is still trustworthy. You know, Eddie and Ned are high up on Flick's list. I wanted to try somebody off her list. It just seems, I don't know. I hate the meta of like, oh, Melissa and Flick and these people, they always name the wolves. So let's just
Like I hit it as well. It is my pet peeve. Like I'm
not saying that you're I'm not
because
saying that Eddie and
like
Ned aren't
asking
wolves
day one,
either.
Who
Like,
do you think it is?
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I supposed to know? It's day one.
Why do you think like George died? Do you think the bodyguard didn't save him, or there's no bodyguard?
I was wondering that, yeah.
I think that they chose a different cleared person.
Quick moderator thing. Everyone, make sure you guys check your messages throughout the day.
We're gonna get some tricks or some treats.
Eddie, who do you think's more suspicious, Braden or Christopher?
Christopher.
All right, you said that yesterday. That shouldn't be new information. How about between Ned and Braden?
Well, Ned's on quite a few people's lists, so I'd say, I'd say Ned, just because potentially he was kind of like calling out Flick, and I actually do think Flick's good.
Well,
Eddie, do you
Flick,
know
Flick,
that
Flick
if
messed up last night because Flick went and protected Alex.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But I'm just being chaotic, so you know.
Who else? There was 2 people that voted up to save Lizette. Are you a one, Flick? Who was the other one?
Ned.
Was it Ned? Yeah. Okay.
this Halloween scene is distracting. I love it.
No, nobody. Okay, you know what? Nobody. All right, fine.
Was that a claim, Flick?
I mean, like, I don't have a habit of claiming, so like, I'm not going to claim by claiming, but you know.
She has a
Okay.
habit of
Well, I
claiming.
Caught that. I'm sure others did too.
Yeah, and then you all went away on it, and I was like, okay.
Okay,
I did notice on the last vote with Lizette that Braden was the last person to vote down, so I feel like he was kind of waiting to see if he can save another wolf possibly. And when he saw that everyone went down, then he went down too. I mean, it could have just been a delay on, I don't know, the camera.
Yeah, I'll just tell you, it was a delay. I mean, you don't have to believe me, sure, but I always try to vote right with everyone else. So
do wolves.
Yeah, that's what was my.
Well, sure.
So
So does everyone.
Brayden was very quiet with Ned, and Jerry pointed that out. And like Jerry being nominated, I thought was humorous because Jerry's always nominated. And I quite like Jerry mentioning Ned and Brayden, but you know, I would lean towards Ned. But hey, Brayden could also be there.
Did Jerry mention me?
Yeah, Jerry did actually mention you and Ned for being quiet. But I'm still sticking
for
to
being
the
quiet.
on the 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many have we killed? We know for a fact we've killed 2, and maybe
Yeah,
Victoria.
possibly 3.
Maybe
yeah.
Victoria.
And maybe
Not enough.
someone else at night.
Adam, are you going to be the last wolf remaining?
Only if they turn me at some point, because at this point I'm a tourist.
Why is I mean, Graham's not on the suspicious list, but why is he so? Why is he cleared in so many people's eyes?
I haven't been cleared.
Not cleared, but why is he kind of like there's no suspicion on Graham at all? Because like Graham's a good player. He could be like I actually do believe Graham is good.
I think
but
it's
I'm
the
just kind
stuff
of
that he's
like
been saying. Like,
Yeah.
towards
Yeah,
the
his
beginning of
logic
the
has
game, I
been-
was suspicious
Yeah.
of him because like he was really protective of that nomination that I made when it seemed really
Yeah.
pointless. And
And
then
like that's
he
the
started
reason why it's
to
on. Yeah.
he started to say a lot more things that were helpful to the village, started
Yeah.
driving a lot of positive conversation, and that's just leading me to believe that he's not actually a werewolf.
Yeah, and y'all are just letting the werewolves win right now. Like, it's almost quite entertaining.
We've killed 2 straight, Flick. How are we letting them win?
No. I'm pretty confident on my 2, and we're not even like asking them to elaborate or
How
anything.
come you don't just go ahead and nominate Flick?
Because I'm quite
Honestly-
enjoying chaos, to be honest. Because it was apparently
She wants to leave it up to the village, but she wants to
enough.
take all our time talking about how right she is.
Like, if we already agree as a village, okay, Eddie and Ned are kind of suspicious, great. If they make it to the final 3, then we'll kill them. But like,
Yeah,
why
kill
not
both of
explore
them in
the
the
other
final
people that
3.
nobody's talked about, that nobody's spent an entire day talking about why they're suspicious?
Yeah,
We
you
can
can't
explore
kill
other
both in the
people.
Final 3. Here's the thing: why don't you kill one? And if I'm wrong, kill me tomorrow.
I don't want to kill you. I want to
wanna
find
kill
another
you.
werewolf.
Yeah, because I'm pretty confident. That's how confident I am that one of them.
Okay, I will nominate Ned.
Nobody is questioning how confident
I'm
you are.
seconding.
Okay, I hear a nomination from Braden for Ned, and it looks like Davey has second.
You muted yourself, Jesse.
That's my move. You can't steal my move of muting yourself instead of the rest of the group.
Sorry, I said Ned, Braden if you want to give your reason, and then Ned if you want to give your defense.
It seems like we need to move it on. So, and I have been suspicious of Ned. I'm pretty sure I was one of the first to actually mention him a long time ago. I don't know. But he's on my list too. So I figure if he's on Flick's list, he's on my list. That's my reasoning.
Okay, and Ned if you want to give your defense.
On everybody's list, there's no help. Why bother? Vote.
Okay, I'm going to mute everybody unless there's. Alex, if you want to take the question, you may, but you do not have to.
Alex.
Ned, do you think that it's weird of Braden to come out and like nominate you and then talk about how he was suspicious of you the whole time and like try
I don't-
to
yeah, 'cause I don't
potentially use
have-
that to like clear himself or like
Well, I just don't remember him saying anything about me, to tell you the truth. It could have happened, but I don't remember it. If anyone can refresh my memory, that'd be good. Do you remember?
No, but Ned, I have a question. 2 parts. Do you think it's possible that Braden is just tired of talking about the same thing every day, all day?
Yes, and
second-
I agree. I've been tired of it too. I've been tired of listening to certain people repeat the same thing over and over and over again. When we already got the point, we get it. Let's vote.
And then
Don't though.
second, something I noticed that I'm going to ask you about is yesterday you said that this is going on too long, which I agree, but then you voted up when you could have voted down to move it along. Why?
Because she was going to lose. She was going to be voted out anyway. So why kick her when she's down?
Yeah, this will be the last question, I believe, right? Yep, go ahead, Adam.
Can I ask you like a non-game related question, Ned? Do you
Sure.
think it's creepy that Jesse has this random picture of 2 kids trick-or-treating playing in his background?
Yeah, especially if he doesn't know who they are.
It was from YouTube. I just look for Halloween stuff. This was all done today. All right, I'm gonna mute everybody. And we're voting on Ned. First vote of the day, there's 6 minutes left. Vote up to save Ned, vote down to kill Ned. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, and that is enough. right? Wait, well, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. That is enough. And Ned has been killed and he is a werewolf, and Brayden is dead, and Brayden was a werewolf, and everyone can go to bed. Can I have my orphan wake up, please? Orphan, who would you like to hide behind tonight? Okay, thank you. Could I have my bodyguard wake up, please? Bodyguard. Who would you like to check on tonight? I mean, who would you like to protect tonight? I apologize. Thank you very much. Could I have my werewolves except for Santa Wolf wake up, please? Who would you like to target tonight? Please come to an agreement. All right, thank you very much. Could I have my Krampus Wolf wake up? Would you like to use one of your 2 powers to find the orphan? And if so, who do you think it is? Okay, thank you. Santa Wolf, if you could wake up, and if you want to use your power, could you please show me your naughty and nice list? Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Quack, if you could please wake up. Would you like to use your cure potion? And if so, on whom? And would you like to use your kill potion? And if so, on whom? Okay, thank you. Please go to sleep. Can I have my Karen wake up? And which question would you like to ask tonight? Okay. All right, thank you. Please go to sleep. And finally, can I have my confused seer wake up? Can you please give me a name of the person you want to check? Okay, here's the symbol for that person. Thank you. Now please go to sleep. And everyone can wake up except for Davy, who is dead. I'm going to pick a random number. It is number 5. Cody, you get to pick a holiday.
Let's go with 5.
Number 5, it's Thanksgiving. Continue.
Everybody knows what that means, right? That double kill there.
Actually, no.
Cupid Wolf chose those 2 as lovers, right?
And I'm giving you
Right, but the Cupid Wolf would not
Santa
choose 2
Wolf?
werewolves, so one of them turned.
Santa Wolf could have been chosen also. Cupid wouldn't know that.
So one of them could have been
Oh,
Santa,
that's true.
and the other was cursed and turned.
My suspect is that the Cupid used it on themselves and someone else. Maybe his
Can
mistake.
Cupid target themselves?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know.
That's my
I don't
theory.
think they would target themselves, but they
Jesse,
definitely wouldn't target
Yeah,
2
is there a
werewolves.
question?
Jesse, can the Cupid Wolf target themselves?
They could.
Okay.
Why would you? I don't know. Why would they do that though?
Just so if they die, a villager dies as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
But they didn't pick a villager. But it could also be that they picked a villager and a Santa Wolf, and the villager was
It's
cursed.
either Santa Wolf or a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they woke up with the wolves before they acted.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah, they did.
I just can't see the Cupid like picking himself. He'd pick 2 villagers. Like, so
Yeah,
the only explanation would
seems
be
very strange.
the only explanation would be Santa Wolf and the curse that's turned.
Question, Jesse.
Yes.
You said that if we killed Cupid, their curse would break. If, for instance, Ned was Cupid and he had picked himself and Braden for some reason, would Braden have still died? Since technically we killed Ned, so that curse would have been broken.
No, in that case, he wouldn't have died.
So chances are the last person remaining is the Cupid Wolf, if there's only one wolf left.
Oh, I think we know. So put it this way, right? I think it's Eddie, and if I die, it's Eddie. But by saying that, the werewolves may not target me either.
Whoa,
but they,
whoa,
We
whoa,
talk
Flick.
about something else.
they also
Flick,
know
are you
that
saying you're suspicious of Eddie?
Really?
Yeah.
We've definitely heard that. I wouldn't mind hearing a little bit more before we just go to
Honestly,
Eddie.
yes.
Oh, no,
Like that's
fine.
the only thing. We hear you. We hear you, Flick. We
Just
definitely
eat some
hear
more
you.
sunflower seeds and let us talk. It's fine.
Oh, they're so good.
Christopher, who are you suspicious of right now? Your thoughts on the way this game is going? Is your team, diminishing, and is that bad, or are you happy?
Well, my team sucked at the beginning, but now we're coming in strong. I'm still confused as to why everyone just all of a sudden trusted Adam and Graham, like out of nowhere. I don't understand where that transition came from, but I've just kind of let it go. I was the only one that put suspicion on Braden because he was the last one to vote down on Lizette, and I think he was trying to see if he could save her, and when he realized he couldn't, he voted down. I wasn't sold necessarily on Ned, but I had no reason to trust him, so I was fine voting down on him. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a read on Eddie. I don't know if I should just trust Flick's instincts or not.
I think it would have been a very bad move for Christopher to call out a wolf like Braden at the time that he did. Personally, I tend to trust him at this moment, especially based. He did bring it back up, but I did kind of note that when he did that yesterday, that if Braden turned out to be a wolf, and we only found out because of the Cupid Wolf.
We operated under the assumption that he was possibly the Santa Wolf, so Christopher wouldn't have known if they were on the same team.
I don't think the Santa Wolf has been gone. I really don't think he woke them up that night. I said something about it because I was like, it really like perked my ear when I was like, I don't think we had to wait for a Santa to make two choices that night.
I did hear it though. I did hear it.
You
That
did
night,
or did?
That night you said I did hear him wake Santa Wolf up.
He wakes everybody up though, even if
he doesn't
Yeah, but like Christopher's saying that he didn't hear Santa Wolf's name get called up at all, but I did.
And
if that's the internet, I've definitely misheard names or not heard something. I don't know if that's really a reason to.
And it's possible they just woke up and did this to say they didn't want to use it. So it's not like he necessarily needed to wait for two. I mean, chances are they did use it, but it's possible they didn't. Also, did anybody get anything for Halloween? He told us to check our messages.
No, sadly not. Or maybe happily not.
Trick or treat.
Smell my feet.
We're on Thanksgiving though.
Yeah, today's Thanksgiving.
Right, but
Macy's
yesterday
Day
he said
Parade.
people watched their messages, so I didn't know if maybe someone got something yesterday but didn't want to come out with it. Like, I was
maybe we had to
protected
say
yesterday.
trick or treat yesterday. Maybe that's what we had to say to get something. Oh my god. Why didn't I do that?
No, none of these. Who got? There was two other people that got presents back in the day.
I got a present.
Well, I, for one, am very grateful and thankful today on this day of Thanksgiving. I really hope that Thanksgiving it blesses me with a gift of some sort.
If you say turkey, turkey might be the magic word.
Yeah, I'm not American, but I do like turkey.
Gobble gobble.
All right, I tried.
Black Friday, is that a? No? Okay. I got a gift. It wasn't. I mean, I didn't foresee it necessarily being terribly useful with the way things were going, but I have the bulletproof vest, so if the hunter shot me, I wouldn't die. But I don't know.
Maybe the fourth gift was a gun. So
That's interesting. There's no guarantee, but there should be a village hunter in the game, right?
It was one of the possibilities.
I also got a bulletproof vest.
Speaking of guarantees, Alex, how are you feeling about your guarantee me and Flick as wolves?
I've walked that back many times now.
Who do you think now, Alex?
I mean, it's between you and Eddie and possibly Adam in my mind.
I was
I think
curious.
I think Adam's good. I like Adam's.
I do think Adam's good.
Adam's
I'm
clear.
just,
Adam's
I'm
clearer than
worried.
Graham.
I'm worried that we're at the point of the game that we could potentially kill the last like natural werewolf, and then we're stuck with all these cleared people, and one of them turned. And at that point, I'm going to be flabbergasted as to where to even start my information train.
I'd love to know if one of them is a hunter, one of these suspicious folks, and we could potentially get a 2-for-1 deal.
I would say that I would probably have been the least likely to have been attacked by the wolves for potentially being cursed. Like Alex was cleared day 2, so like he would have been someone the wolves may have come after. Cody was cleared day 3 maybe, or day 2, whatever.
I cured myself though.
True.
Moderator question.
Yeah.
Were there rules about which roles could or could not be cursed?
No, anybody could be cursed.
They can stack.
And you would lose your ability if you had a night ability.
So Cody should be good still. I mean, if Eddie, assuming Eddie is not a werewolf, not saying that Flick is wrong, but if he's not, I don't think the wolves would have gone after him because there's been so much suspicion.
Well, I just checked my chat and I haven't gotten any messages regarding turning into a wolf. I mean, I haven't woken up with any wolves yet, so I was just making sure that I didn't miss that. But
And everybody's saying that they didn't get a message yesterday on Halloween?
No, not at all. Did you?
I did not.
I got a message about the dead chat. That's
holidays are
directed
pretty
towards
lame.
Lizette, so.
Yeah, I think that was pretty sad.
I do appreciate the theme going on behind Jesse, though. That's the best part of this whole holiday idea.
Yeah, it's been fun.
All right, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm good with killing Eddie, and then I feel he's the one that has the biggest suspicion on him, and then if the game doesn't end, then we're just kind of back at square one.
I mean, I want to nominate because obviously I'm going to go up and I want to protect myself. I like, do you know what I mean? Because I am a villager, so I want to nominate Christopher.
All right, Christopher has nominated. Is there anyone who would like to second?
I'll hear it.
Okay, Alex has seconded. I'm going to
This
pause.
is the first nomination, right?
It is the first nomination of the day. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Eddie, if you want to give your reasoning, and then Chris, if you want to give your defense.
So my reasoning was that, you know, there's quite a few people that have been cleared, like Adam, Alex, Cody are clear. Flick and Graham are playing, you know, solid, positive games at the moment in terms of trying to help the village. And so Christopher's been at the top of my list from very early on with some of his suspects kind of like voting. He has given some good reasons when he has been asked questions, but just bits of his body language and things like that do lead me to obviously thinking that he is the most suspicious out of everyone left.
All right, Chris, you can give your defense.
Yeah, so day 1, I offered myself up as a sacrifice to the villagers because I had no special abilities and didn't want someone with a good ability to get killed because of the 3rd nomination role or whatever. And so I offered myself up, which I don't think as a wolf I would have done myself. Other people may do that as a tactic, but I wouldn't. I also called out Brayden for being the last to vote down on the other werewolf. So it would be kind of dumb as a werewolf to call out a werewolf for something that makes them obvious involving another werewolf, which would then be basically calling out 3. I don't think I've really done anything suspicious. I don't feel like I've heard any valid arguments as to why I would be a werewolf. Also, Adam hasn't been cleared. I think Eddie nominated me because I'm the only other option because everyone trusts Graham and Adam right now, and Flick, and then Alex and Cody have been confirmed good, so I'm the only option for him as a werewolf to go after. I mean, if you feel confident that I'm a wolf, you can kill me, but you know, I am a tourist.
All right, if anyone has a question for Christopher, I'll take up with 3 questions. Adam?
Do you not trust Graham and I?
I just don't have a definitive reason to. That's why I don't know why everyone else does so strongly. I don't necessarily suspect you to, but he said that you were cleared, but we haven't necessarily cleared you. I know everyone trusts you, and I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I have to be suspicious of everyone that hasn't been definitively cleared. Technically, even Cody, if we just have to trust that he is what he says he is, which I do trust those 2. Good, Flick.
Yeah, so like obviously I don't trust Eddie, but if we didn't kill you and we killed Eddie, and say for some miraculous reason Eddie was a villager, are you okay with being killed next?
Yeah, I mean, if he is a villager, then we would lose too. But I mean, I feel like people have been suspicious of me, so you're probably going to kill me regardless. So
I don't know. I think Eddie's.
Rules question for the moderator.
Okay.
Is it true that Santa cannot nominate somebody on their naughty list?
They cannot nominate someone on their naughty or nice list or second that person on
Awesome.
their nice list.
Cool. Christopher, would you be willing to nominate Eddie if we vote up for you?
yes.
Excellent.
Okay, that was the third question. I'm going to mute everybody. Voting on Christopher. Up to save Christopher, down to kill Christopher. Voting in 3, 2, 1, vote. Okay, that's one down. That is not enough. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
I nominate Eddie.
I second.
He's been nominated and Alex has seconded. I'm gonna pause the timer at 1:35. Eddie, or Christopher, please give your reasoning, and then Eddie, give your defense.
Well, I just told Graham I would do it, and I'm not a liar, so I did it. Eddie, I think, is coming after me. It sounded kind of desperate, so him nominating me, and I feel like admitting that I had good answers and good responses to every question I've been asked just made him look more guilty to me as well. So it was my only option, I feel like, at that time.
So this is my defense, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, you can give your defense now.
Right, okay. I know you all think I'm really, really suspicious, and I know this is really late with my information, but I am actually the confused seer. So I checked kind of like Ned, and I got one of these signals, don't know what that means. And then I checked Alex, and same sort of signal. I checked Flick, and guess what? Do you know what I mean? But then on night 4, Jesse actually did message me and said that I'm no longer the confused seer because I've actually turned into the orphan, and you can't kill me because I've got a deflector shield. That's my defense.
All right. Any questions? Up to 3 questions. Adam, you can go. Or well, you can take the 3 questions in any order.
Go on, Adam.
You still forgive me for naming you 5 seconds into the game.
I forgive you. I forgive you. Flick.
Yeah, so you know, I have my fabulous hat, so I'm just assuming that everybody here is all at some sort of miraculous party with hats, and we're all going woo. So like, I'm not saying that's the best read.
And one more question,
Alex.
Eddie, do you think it would be worth the village killing you so that Flick can shut up about talking about you every single day?
Potentially, yeah, but I do want to use my deflector shield, and can Flick be up for nomination, please, Jesse?
Okay.
Hold on one moment, please. Let me double check something.
I don't know what he's checking. I actually don't have a deflector.
Sorry, Eddie does not have a deflector shield. I apologize. I just had to double check and make sure.
I think that's what he was checking to see if he sent you that.
Shield. So we're voting on Eddie. Vote up to save Eddie. Vote down to kill Eddie. Voting in 3, 2, 1. Vote. All right, and Eddie has died, and Eddie was the last werewolf. Congratulations, village, you have won. It was a rough beginning, but you guys really came back in the end. Good job. I did make one mistake. I could go over everything real quick. I'm going to mute you guys just because it was a crazy game, and then I'll let you guys talk. I apologize. It ran so long. Next time I'm doing timers from the very beginning. I apologize for that.
Timers are magic.
Okay, real quick. Let's see, who was what? Chris A was just a plain tourist. Ned was Santa Wolf, and he came real close a bunch of times of having his ability be used, but it never actually worked. He picked for the naughty list, Graham, Cody, Davey, Christopher, Flick. For the nice list, Flick, Alex, Flick, Eddie, Braden. Like that last day, if Braden would have got nominated, he wouldn't have died. I'll explain that later. Josh was the confused seer, and this is the one mistake I made. He was cursed, so he shouldn't have died. However, he would have actually died on day 5. So he would have died. He would have survived 1 day as a wolf and then died because he was poisoned by the Easter Bunny, and he was going to die on day 5 anyways. So I did.
It was a great mistake to make. I take my win with the village. Thank you very much.
So I always do that with cursed. I always screw up with cursed. Jerry was the bodyguard. Chris R was the Easter Bunny wolf with a party hat, and she poisoned Josh. Davey was a tourist. He did get a bacon sandwich at one point, which he used, but they did not attack him that night. George was Karen. He did ask those questions on the last day. He asked me if I like turtles, and I said yes. Let's see. Alex was the party pooper. Obviously, he used it day 2. Lizette was the Cupid Wolf. She picked Josh and Cody, but since Josh died at night, Cody was okay. Cody was the quack. He killed Victoria, who was just a plain tourist, and he cured himself and Joe. Neither of them were or had anything that needed cured. Graham was a plain tourist. Braden was a plain werewolf, Tom the turkey wolf. Joe was the orphan, and yeah, that was it. Eddie was the Krampus wolf, and he did kill Joe when he knew that he was the orphan. Christopher was the tourist, and he did get a bulletproof vest for Christmas. Flick was the hunter with a party hat, who never used her hunting ability, and she also had a deflector shield from Christmas. Victoria was a tourist plane, Adam was a tourist plane, and also the reason Braden died was 2 people went mad on Halloween, and they were pretending to be other things. They were dressed, they were in costume. So Flick was the bodyguard, which she did claim. Well, she got the role to be the bodyguard, and Braden got that he had to claim the hunter, and he never claimed it before Ned was voted out, so he also died. And that's what happened with that. It wasn't anything to do with the Cupid Wolf, and you guys can talk.
Yeah, I just, for me, not claiming it, I just didn't want to just splurt out that I was the hunter. I didn't know that Ned was going to die, obviously, because I voted up. So yeah.
Oh, I was so dead mean. You could have figured that one out.
Anyways,
Well, I
I
didn't know you
have to
were-
go, guys, but it was fun playing with you.
Yeah, I
Bye,
gotta
Cody.
go too.
Yeah.
See you later. I gotta go too. See you later.
Bye, Ned.
Bye, Ned.
Good job.
Thanks for trusting me, Ned. It was a first.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. But actually, I did from the very beginning. I was kind of like, well, I think he's safe, but everyone else thinks he's safe, so there's no point targeting him. So it's good.
George pointed out something funny with you, Ned. Oh,
I don't think it was me that pointed that out.
Oh,
I think it was Joe.
yeah, Joe pointed out it was highly funny you were the Christmas wolf because of your red t-shirt and your beard.
No, yeah, that would have been very, very thematic. Thanks.
I'm gonna go too. Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Good night,
Chris.
Chris.
Thanks, Craig.
Good games, play well.
All games aren't this long.
Most actually aren't.
Those are the questions I gave George in case you were curious.
I mean, were you
Yeah,
going
I'd
to
say number
explain
8
the
and 12 seem a
holidays?
bit.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about the holidays. I thought it was best to be a surprise, and also I had to really fight the urge to like ask him what his favorite color was on the first day. I thought, maybe it is relevant to the game, like
Oh,
Jess
I would've
comes out
loved
day
that role.
2.
I would've asked him
Anyone who
if he
says my
liked
favorite
turtles.
color will get immunity.
The one thing, the funny thing too, in the beginning, I was like, oh, this village is doomed because what was the first thing? It was Devil's Night, which was the werewolves get 2 kills, but they did target Jerry, who was a bodyguard. So she protected herself night 1, but the other kill was from Cody. So they would have gotten 2 kills if Jerry didn't protect herself. And then the Day of the Dead was someone who had died. So Victoria or Chris, would have been able to give a message that would have went to someone random that night.
Was Victoria a wolf?
No, she was not a wolf.
Okay.
No, she was just a regular tourist.
Right,
guys
right,
have-
Justin, guys, thank you. I'm going to shoot off as well. Thank you.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for the game.
No, I'm
See
gonna
ya, Lizette.
Come back.
Hello.
I'm gonna sign off now.
See you, Chris. Well played.
Standing at the crossroads between a life